Ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ìkànnì wa tí a mọ̀ sí Koikimedia, bringing the world closer to your doorsteps. Èní ní 7th of April 2026, 11:26 a.m. GMT, London time. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to Koikimedia, bringing the world closer to your doorsteps, where we bring all the news, where we bring everything that you need to know, especially facts and figures. As I always say, one of the best platforms that brings out the best narratives and analysis, not just on the current affairs, but also on what we are going to be discussing today. We will be reviewing what was said by a man known as Omoyele Sowore. But before we go into that, an article was released on Sarah Reporter. I've seen it. Sowore said, and I quote, "Sunday Igboho, my principal, was funded by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu." Wow. This is what I want to discuss, and this is what I want to share with you all. So mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin olólùfẹ́ wa káàkiri gbogbo ibikíbi lágbàáyé tí ẹ bá ti ń gbọ́ mi. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́, fídíò tí mò ń ṣe yìí, èèyàn kankan ò gbọ́dọ̀ gbé lọ sórí page wọn. We will flag it down. I want everybody to come to my page, watch it, comment, and put your own information. If you cut the video, if you pick up the video and put it on your own channel, whether you're copying it from Facebook or YouTube or TikTok, it is our copyright, and we have not given anybody the copyright to the video. A press release is going to be out before the end of this broadcast. You have every right to use that press release to do your own narratives. But before I go further, like I always say, mo kí ìyá tó bí mi lọ́mọ. She died last year, but I'm grateful, very, very grateful that somebody like her brought me to this country. Since I've been in this country, I have retrained myself. I have done everything possibly best within the Nigerian community. Yes, sometimes we might say things that people might not be happy with. Sometimes we might do things that people might be upset with. But my late mother always says something. No matter how upset you are, when you come on a live show, get the information to the people, put your anger behind. I have a bottle of water, because sometimes you see certain things and you want to react. So, and I've also been told by my team to put the message as clearly as possible for the benefit of doubt, not because of my principle, not because of my relationship with him, but we just want the fact to be out there in the public. So let me first again, kọ́kọ́ dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ ìyá mi, my late mother. I will continue to be grateful to you every blessed day. You brought me into this country on a clean record, and I will maintain that clean record. We don't have to tell lies. We don't have to fabricate things. We can always condemn, push things. We want Yoruba nation. There's no doubt about it. Some people want Nigeria to remain like Omoyele Sowore. Some people want Nigeria to dissolve. This is everything I'll be discussing. Please share this important broadcast. Before we do, as we say on our platform, we always like to share. So I'm sharing the program. I'm hoping that you will help me to share as well. Please tag you, Omoyele Sowore. I know he's in Nigeria. Please tag him. Or if you have the wife, let the wife come and watch what the husband have said. If you know his, AAC members, tell them to come and listen. If you know anyone that is close to Omoyele Sowore, I have refused not to do this kind of program for Sowore after he said certain things about Igboho. But this time around, we can't just let it go. So I'm doing the share. So if you're on Koikimedia WhatsApp, you are likely never to miss my broadcast. You will always be the first people as soon as I go live. We have about 884 members. All they do is just wait for me to share information. Just wait for us to share our news. Just wait to share our broadcast. Let me give kudos to the Koikimedia team. They were in Osun State yesterday, and they have returned back to their base. Thank you to all the Koikimedia staff, the management that are working day and night, so that we can continue to propel the news. Sowore thought he's the only one that can give news, but he has forgotten that there are people that are also running back and forth to bring the news and investigative journalism. So mo kí gbogbo èèyàn wa lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí, ẹ jẹ́ ká bẹ̀rẹ̀ báyìí. Iṣẹ́ wa fúnlẹ̀ wa, forílẹ̀ ibi wa, kàgbéga, kàgbéga, kàgbéga fàlérí. Ìgbàgbọ́ wa ni pé bá ti bẹ̀rù làbọ̀ mọ́. Ká ṣiṣẹ́, ká ṣiṣẹ́, ká ṣiṣẹ́, ká jọlá. Ìṣọ̀kan àtòmìnira ní kẹ́jẹ́ ká máa lépa. Ìtẹ̀síwájú fọ̀pọ̀ ire àtòhun tó dára. Ọmọ Oòduà dìde, bọ́ sípò ẹ̀tọ́ rẹ. Ìwọ ni ìmọ́lẹ̀ ògo adúláwọ̀. The weather is bright outside from London, where I am bringing this live broadcast to you. It is just 11:30 a.m. in the 7th, because I like to put dates, because whatever we are doing, now I know it is important, because after we die, like my mother have died now, up to the point of her death, she knows a lot of things, but the moment she has died, we will only continue to remember her from there. So that when the next generation are watching this kind of videos, they can know facts and figures. Let me say again, we are not here to destroy anybody's character. We are not here to bring anybody's down. But before I even go further, let me first read somebody that I have not spoken to, and we were together with Sowore in London when it came to campaign about AAC some few years back. I have all the evidence. His name is Engineer Olusegun Okpanuga. We have not spoken. He has just joined this broadcast, and the first two comments he has put out, we have not spoken. We don't have any kind of conversation before coming on air. He says, and I quote, Tinubu did not fund Igboho. Sowore lied and changing narratives. Engineer Olusegun Okpanuga, that also has some relationship with Sowore, because a lot of us have Sowore as not just a Yoruba man, as a Nigerian that we believe in at some point. But he has put it, and I said, Tinubu did not fund Igboho. Sowore parọ́, ó wá fẹ́ change in tí wọ́n pè ní narratives. Let me say this again. Welcome. Please share the program, because you will contribute. You will add your own input so that we can balance it. Ó yẹ kí n jáde kí n ṣe bí ọmọ ọ̀tá gbirigbirigbirigbiri. But I think I've gone past that stage now. And I'm sure a lot of you will respect me if I just conduct this program without putting some kind of sentiment around it. I know certain things I can say in Yoruba. Tí máa ránṣẹ́ sí Sowore padà. I know certain things and words I can use that he will be crying wherever he is. But let's do it in a civilized, and maybe you have every right to say whatever you want to say for Sowore. I want to start the Twitter space. I will speak in English, and I will also speak in Yoruba, so that we can get those that are commenting at the moment about this narrative that Igboho was funded by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. That we know is a big lie. But why is Sowore going after Igboho That is the first question we need to ask. Kí ló dé tí Omoyele Sowore is going after Igboho? Because first and foremost, Sowore will never, in another 30 years of Nigeria, will be a president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So be it if Nigeria is still existing. Sowore can never get any kind of revolution to start in Nigeria. He doesn't have the capacity, the tenacity to start a revolution. He can speak grammar from here to thy kingdom come. He can put out all kind of narratives. Omoyele Sowore, you can never be the president of Nigeria. Tinubu has been the president. Hate him or like him, disregard him, disrespect him, but Sowore, did you bring Buhari to power? Omoyele Sowore, ṣé ìwọ ló gbé Buhari wọ ìjọba? And why are you now, for whatever reason, political reason, trying to now destroy Igboho's name? Because Igboho has aligned with Tinubu. At least, give and take, whether as Nigerians or not, Tinubu and Igboho are still from the southwest. And moreover, Igboho has every right to support any candidate. Yes, you might not be happy with certain utterances. That is politics. You cannot be saying that because of such, you have now gone back to put out a narrative that Igboho was funded. Do you know the meaning of funded? And let me explain to those of us that probably never know. Igboho was never a member of Yoruba nation. Igboho was just doing his own thing about security. Igboho was going for security that was having a big impact that Sowore was never able to dissolve or solve. Sowore could not go into the forest to go after the Fulani terrorists. Igboho was able to do so. Igboho did it very good, without any compromising, without being funded. But he decided that since the government of Buhari that Sowore brought to power was unable to curb the Fulani, Igboho now said, well, let us dissolve Nigeria. And if Igboho has returned back to say that maybe for now, we can do things in the political way, let me work with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to look into the insecurity matter in the southwest that Sowore could not look into. Even his hometown in Ondo State, as I speak right now, is under a serious danger. And I believe, Sowore, you need Igboho more than anybody to look after yourself and your family and those of your relatives and your network that are being killed on a daily basis in the southwest part of Nigeria. But you're not interested in that. All you want to do is to destroy Igboho's name. I will not sit here and be alive and tolerate such. You can speak, I can speak. You have lived in America for decades. I have lived in the UK for 29 years. And you are not as good as me. I can say it boldly because I have you in London during your AAC campaign. And you cannot say that I collected £1 from all my sweat and everything we did for you from the media angle. As at that time, we never even know Igboho. Gbogbo nǹkan la ṣe fún ẹ, ìwọ Omoyele Sowore. You remember that we were in the same room in London, in hotel, when we went to order the food. We came back. I invited you for the radio station. But kí ni Igboho ṣe fún ẹ, ìwọ Omoyele Sowore? Kí ni Igboho gbà lọ́wọ́ ẹ? Ṣé ó gba ìyàwó ẹ ni? Ṣó gbọ́mú ẹ ni? Ṣó yáwó lọ́wọ́ ẹ ni? And you know that you are calling Igboho behind. We have evidence because you kept calling him so that you can tap his phone and record it so that you can put it out there in the public. You spoke, you wanted to call Igboho, to call him, and you did. Maybe while you were in Ibadan, because my principal told me that you called him, but he refused to pick your call. Ṣé nítorí ẹ̀ ló ṣe wá jáde, ìwọ Omoyele Sowore? Is that the reason why you came out to want to destroy Igboho? Because Igboho refused to pick up your call when you were in Ibadan. Remember, you were in Ibadan just some few days ago. You kept calling Igboho, but Igboho knew that if he pick up your call, you are going to record him, you are going to set him up. Igboho is not as stupid and idiotic like you. Igboho is a smart man. It does not matter how many times you have lived in America. Igboho has also lived in Europe, just like you. But let's take it one at a time. Ẹ bá mi pé Omoyele Sowore, òun ni mò ń fẹ́ fún ní èsì padà. Kí ni Igboho gbà lọ́wọ́ ẹ? You will provide us that evidence. That evidence, I don't need your source. Because as a journalist as well, I will not give my source out to anybody. I will never give my source out to anybody. But I want you, Omoyele Sowore, to prove with evidence. If you cannot prove with evidence before the end of this month, kó jẹrà mọ́ ẹni kùn. Gbogbo tó bá ní, gbogbo tó bá sọ, gbogbo tó bá ń ṣe, gbogbo tó bá gbèrò lórí Igboho, kó jẹrà mọ́ ẹni kùn. Ìwọ Omoyele Sowore. Tó bá lè fún wa ní that evidence, just like you have given enough evidence under your Sahara investigative journalism. Let's first listen to Omoyele Sowore. This was an interview sometime before, and what he said. This is what you said in that radio interview. I have prepared for you. I have bring some few facts that people have wrote, because people have already questioned your character. You have told us that you are the best Nigerian that we can ever think of. Talo Sobe. You have told us you are credible. You have told us you are the student union. You are the this, you are the that. You work with MK Wabiola and blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 shit. Ìwọ nìkan kọ́ ni o ní integrity. Omoyele Sowore. Igboho sì ní integrity jù ẹ́ lọ. Ó ní integrity jù ẹ́ lọ lánàá. Ó ní because Igboho wọlé lọ bá àwọn Fúlàní. Ìwọ ò tó bẹ́ẹ̀ ni mo sọ. Kò ṣe tí Igboho ṣe. Ó tó bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n ì tí bí pọ̀ rí bàbá ẹ̀dá kò ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀. Èmi ni mo sọ bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n ì tí pín bàbá ẹ̀dá kò lọ ṣe tí Igboho tó ṣe. Ó lè ṣe. Because you think that you can use your pen to destroy someone because it does not align with you. I remember that we have spoken with you prior onto the 2021 as we were campaigning for Yoruba Nation. Igboho has every right to stand wherever he wants to stand. Mo ti dé, mo ṣe mo bọ̀ díẹ̀ ni. Ẹ bá mi pè Omoyele Sowore. Ẹ bá mi jẹ́ àwọn tó wà l'Amẹ́ríkà tó mọ̀ Sowore pé Koiki ti jáde láti wá fún ní èsì in tó kọ pé Tinubu fọ́ndì Olóyè Sunday Igboho láti fi gbé Buhari lọ. Do you think so? That means you are also saying that Baba Akintoye was funded, because the more you are questioning Igboho, you are also pointing to a 92-year-old man, older to be your father, that he has been paid by Tinubu. But my name is OLAYOMI KOIKI, known as Koikimedia, bringing the world closer to your doorstep. Let's hear from this man known as Sowore. This was a video I picked up, and this is what he has to say.
Been around for 30 years, fighting for the betterment of this country. First as a student union leader, and of course as a leader of a media movement that brought the government that is today into power. Because
only, let me say what he said very well. I have been a student union for many years. And I was the one that brought the government to power. What government is Sowore talking about? He's talking about the government of the former late Muhammadu Buhari. You said it, and I quote, that you were the one that brought Buhari to power. How did you bring Buhari to power? What was your agenda to destroy Jonathan as at the time to bring Buhari to power? And Buhari that you brought to power came to Ibadan during Lam Adesina to tell the governor as at the time that do not try any rubbish with my Fulani people. That same Buhari became a president. And we saw the end of it. Even when Buhari came to power, we knew how he wanted to destroy Tinubu. We knew all that agenda to make sure that Tinubu was segregated. We knew how they changed the money. Sowore, what is your agenda for not Nigerians, but for we the Yorubas? Ṣé ọmọ Yorùbá ni wọ́n ṣá àbí ọmọ àlè Yorùbá ni ẹ́? Mo bí ẹni o, I'm asking you a question. Ṣé ọmọ Yorùbá ni ẹ́ ni àbọ̀ ọmọ àlè Yorùbá ni ẹ́? I am speaking to Sowore. Like I said, let everybody watch this video on my platform. You dare not pick this video and drop it on your platform. I will flag it. I want people to come and see what I have sent back to Sowore. Like I said, let's listen one more time to what Sowore said.
30 years fighting for the betterment of this country. First as a student.
What betterment of this country you have been fighting for? You have been fighting for your pocket. Let me quickly go to this document that was written by another investigative, brilliant Nigerian journalist. Hate him or disagree with him, His name, I quote, is David Odoye. We come back to this video. I have asked Google. All you need to do is go to Google. These are the people that are funding Sahara Reporter. First and foremost, this is in the public domain. This is not Koikimedia making it up. So when you go to Google, all you need to type is, who is funding Sahara Reporters? Ta ló ń sanwó Sahara Reporter? Ta ló ń fún Sahara Reporter ní owó tó fi ń ṣe gbogbo tó ń ṣe tó fi di Sahara Reporter lénìí? And the message came back. Sahara Reporter, founded by Omoyele Sowore in 2006, is largely, tọ́ba ní largely, into tóbi ni, into fẹ̀, into tóbi, into gùn, into pọ̀, largely funded through grants from international philanthropic organizations and foundations. Key funders have included MacArthur Foundation, Ford Foundation, and the Omidyar Foundation. 3 foundations. Who are those behind those foundations, Sowore? Who are those that set up those foundations, and what is the agenda of those foundations? Because we know the agenda of the West. We know how they have used media to put out a wrong narrative for many years, until the social media and many other medias like ourselves started coming out to distort many lies from many of those Western media. Are you also using your media to put out the wrong narrative in Nigeria so that you can be able to get your own intention or your own attentions, as you like all the time? Because we know what your attentions are. Once again, I'm asking, who are you to talk to Sowore, to Igboho, that Igboho has collected money? But what is some for Igboho? In President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. We come back to that. Even if, and I use the word even if, but we know that there is an agenda. As 2027 is getting closer, you don't want to destroy Igboho alone, but you probably want to bring another agenda like you did with Buhari to government. Gbogbo àjọ wà lẹ́nu ẹni, àjọ wọ ṣòkòtò kan náà, èmi àti ẹ Sowore láti sin lọ. Ẹ jẹ́ ká padà sẹ́yìn.
For 30 years, fighting for the betterment of this country. First as a student union leader, and of course as a leader of a media movement that brought the government that is today into power. Because we came to power on my back.
Which back?
On my back.
Back?
On the back of young people who invested a lot of, who invested a lot of hope and aspiration.
You invest more than me.
No. The investment we made in... No.
Come on, make noise here.
No, it's not about noise. It's reality. Are you present, not to me, not to the public, speaking public, not just what people said. Any video of me campaigning for Buhari, any meeting between me or Buhari, right? Any article I wrote on behalf of Buhari that asked Nigerians to vote for Buhari in 2015, or is it in 2019 that I ran against him, abused him across Nigeria? Can you please present it as an evidence that I
the same Sowore that is telling someone that to present an evidence, the same Omoyele Sowore tó ń sọ fún èèyàn kan pé kó provide evidence, is now coming out without no evidence, which is garbage and rubbish, to say that Igboho collected money. The same Sowore that is asking somebody to provide evidence. You can see how we have understood what your agenda are. Your agenda is to bring down Igboho. Your agenda is to destroy his character. Your agenda is to destroy his name. But we will not sit back and allow you to do so, because Igboho did not start the Yoruba Nation campaign. Maybe some of you didn't know that. And I can tell you categorically, when I was able to have some kind of contact with Igboho during when I went to the Nigerian embassy after the late Tolulope Arotile died, Igboho called into my program live And that was the beginning and the best journey so far between myself and Igboho. And I knew you before Igboho. You, Omoyele Sowore, I knew you before Igboho. So the fact that you are coming out that somebody should give you evidence that you brought Buhari to power, that you were the one that campaigned to bring Buhari to power, yet you have not been able to give us your evidence that Sowore, you have that evidence that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu funded Igboho to bring Buhari's government down. So are you saying that Igboho should fold his hand when Fulani were meaning killing up to date? Is that what you're saying? So what Igboho did as at the time in 2021, are you telling us that it was wrong? Are you saying that Igboho was wrong to have stood against the injustice of the insecurity in the Southwest? Is that what you're saying? Let's listen more to Sowore.
That I ask people to vote for Buhari instead of just making up stories based on
Making up stories. Where did you find out your own evidence as well? This is Sowore. I want us to listen to this video. This is Sowore celebrating with the people in the north after Buhari came to power. Please share Power Tab and bring as many people in. This is the same Omoyele Sowore that came to power, that celebrated Buhari when Buhari came to power. We saw that video. The video is evidence here. Let's watch that video. That is Sowore there celebrating when Buhari came to power. This is how Sowore celebrated Buhari's power. The same Buhari that has track record of inviting the Fulani to power. The Fulani into the country. Let me say it categorically, Sowore, maybe you don't know. I have been part and parcel of the Yoruba Nation movement from the day one. Let me first clear that for those of you that didn't know that. I have been part of the Yoruba Nation as soon as we have that information coming from Babakitoye. Igboho was never one of it. Because Igboho's agenda was to go after the Fulani that were destroying Igogon, making life unbearable for thousands and millions of Yoruba people in the Southwest. And it was after it's realized that Buhari's government was going to go after his life, Babakitoye paid him a visit. And as a Yoruba man, you were also invited. You were called by the Yoruba World Media. You, Omoyele Sowore, are invited now. Sorry, Yoruba World Media. You told us that Yoruba Nation is not going to happen because you are going to work with the other people in the Southeast to bring revolution. We know your agenda. We know your own agenda. You thought that you can use the people from the Southeast to push against that your revolution. But those ones don't know what they want. As they are saying they want Biafra, they are also same people that want to be in government. The question now is, what actually are you after? What is it that you are after, Sowore? If you are finding it problematic on Facebook, we're live on YouTube, Crystal Clear, Koikimedia, go watch it there. Or we are live on another YouTube, Koikimedia Oduduwa. Sowore Mombere Lowe. Ofeda revolution in Nigeria. You have been talking about revolution that is never going to happen. Even your closest ally knows that you can never get any revolution out of Nigeria. Igboho came out, campaign without no bloodshed from Ekiti to Ogun State. If Igboho was working for President Tinubu or he was funded, like you said, why was Igboho almost killed in his house? July 1st. I would have been killed if I was in that house. And this kind of Omoyele Yoruba, like Sowore, would have said, well, you know, ṣebí Koiki ni, kí ló wá káàkiri. You would have said the same thing. You would have said the same thing if I was killed, just like Adogan and Alhaji Fatai. Irú Omoyele Sowore ló máa sọ pé ta ló ránṣẹ́. Elédùmarè tí kò fi wá sílẹ̀, tí kò dẹ̀ ní fi wá sílẹ̀. Now, let's come back to fact. How did you understand that Igboho that was going for the security end up to be part of the self-determination? Was it after Tinubu funded him? He decided to switch. Ṣé nígbà tí Tinubu, President Bola Tinubu, ṣé nígbà tó fund Igboho ló wá switch pé kájọ máa ṣe Yoruba nation, and now he's returning back to the same Tinubu again. This is what Sowore said in his article before we now start going back and looking into it one at a time. My name is OLAYOMI KOIKI, and like I always say, it is all about the facts and the figures. And not true. Sowore knows that that information is a lie, because Sowore was never part of the Yoruba nation struggle. He was invited, but he refused to join because he's looking for revolution with the people from the southeast to bring down Nigeria. But we wanted a Yoruba nation. We wanted a Yoruba nation that will be put to the public and let the public make their mind and decide. And moreover, Igboho is not the only one in charge of Yoruba nation, because Yoruba nation is a movement under the leadership of Professor Adebanji Akintoye that can be your father, if not even a little bit more. And you cannot come and tell us that you are well learned than Professor Akintoye, that knows that you cannot be saying that you want Yoruba nation, and yet you cannot engage the government. You cannot engage the international community. You don't have to do it in a bloodshed. Yes, some might disagree that it can be bloodshed, but Baba Akintoye did not want Yoruba nation under Igboho, under Koikimedia, and under many of us to be bloodshed. So the question now is, where did you find out that Igboho was funded by President Bola Tinubu? When? What date? Where are your receipts? Where are your... Because as an investigative journalist, as you call yourself, Omoyele Sowore, ó jẹ́ kó ní evidence yẹn, kò jẹ́ kó kọ́kọ́ sínú paper, ó jẹ́ kó ti ju evidence yẹn sí gbogbo àgbáyé pé this is my evidence, as I have put out many evidence in the past about the corrupt leaders in Nigeria. Because we know you to say that you are running after the corrupt leader, but we can also say from those that have written about you that you are also someone of a character that we might look into. But mumba nibe. So when people that are coming out to read your article, which I'm going to read now, they must understand that Baba Akintoye is the leader of the Yoruba nation struggle from the beginning, and is still the leader. And Baba Akintoye has many others that have also do what we call supporting the agenda of Yoruba nation. So it's not just Igboho that is asking for Yoruba nation. There are others that also want Yoruba nation. So let's look at the article that I received on the Sahara Reporter. Omoyele Sowore made a claim during a recent episode of his Times podcast release on Monday evening, where he spoke on political dynamics that shaped the agitation in the Southwest. Ṣé ni wọ́n máa ń ṣe bí ìgbà tó yẹ pé ìwọ nìkan ni olórí mẹ́fà? Ó ń ṣe bí ìgbà tó yẹ pé ìwọ nìkan ló dájú nínú gbogbo ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. Ìwọ nìkan ló ní integrity. Ìwọ nìkan lọmọ Yorùbá tí tó fẹ́ nǹkan tó dáa fún ọmọ Yorùbá tó kù. But we know your agenda. We know people like you because your agenda is not pure. And we know that. Because, like I said, I met you in London, and you cannot say that during the time I met you, I asked you for what I could have asked you to pay for my service. You could have paid for my service when you came to London and we were helping you to promote your AAC. And even all those donations and every support that you got during that period, you know that a lot of people have questioned it as well. So you cannot come and tell us that you have the same integrity and character. Like I said, I'll come back to that. Fiery human rights activist, former presidential candidate that will never be a president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria until Nigeria will be dissolved. You will never be a president. You know that. If you like, cry from here, thy kingdom come. Nobody will vote for you, not even your family member, not even your close allies, not even your friends, because nobody believes in you. Omoyele Sowore has stated that the Yoruba Nation agitation led by Sunday Adeyemo Igboho, it is led by Professor Adebanji Akintoye in support on a full chest by Igboho. This is the mistake that a lot of people keep saying. We have a leader. Igboho has every right to be a leader, but he knows that Baba Akintoye is the leader, and Ogba fun Baba Akintoye yanyan. And if he decides that he wants to go for security and work with President Tinubu, on Channels Television this morning, they were talking about state policing. President Tinubu also knows that the fact that insecurity is a problem. We need many people that can help the government to support the government when it comes to security. Should we say because we are asking for Yoruba Nation? Oh, because we are asking for Yoruba Nation, our people should be maimed and killed. If you're having problem, go to the YouTube. There's not much I can do on the other network that you're listening to, especially those of you on TikTok. Bear with us because, like I said earlier, we are working on my network. It will be resolved in the next couple of days. So let me say it again, Sowore. Níbo ló ti wá sọ pé Baba Akintoye tí ó jẹ́ leader. That means que Baba Akintoye náà Igboho ló ń sọ yẹn. So you are almost the same with Mayegun in Scotland that was abusive of Baba Akintoye, just like he's opening his dirty, stinking mouth on Igboho as well. Ọmọ àlè Yorùbá lẹ́yìn méjèèjì. Let's go further. Yoruba Nation agitation that was led by Chief Sunday Adeyemo Igboho was secretly funded by President Bola Tinubu to destabilize the administration of the former President Muhammadu Buhari. That kind of words tó jáde lẹ́nu ọmọ àlè Sowore pé President Bola Tinubu fund Igboho. Remember that this is not the first time that people are saying that. We had an audio that was out in the public domain that somebody also said that Igboho collected 50 billion naira. And everybody ran with that information, even though the person did not have any evidence. Oh no, we also know that somebody said that Igboho collected money from Tinubu in Lagos. The question is, why are you all running after Igboho that is in support of Tinubu? Why, Sowore? Kí ni agenda gangan? Kí ni nǹkan tí ó dì mú tó fẹ́ fi wó ara Igboho wálẹ̀? Again, like I said, kí ni nǹkan tó rí? Kí ló mi ọbẹ̀ tó sè? Because you are saying, and I quote, that Tinubu, the president, funded Sunday Igboho to destabilize, because Igboho, like I said, was not involved in the Yoruba Nation struggle at the beginning. So at what point did Igboho came in to destroy Buhari's government? Because the same Buhari that we wrote letter to, the same Buhari that we protested against across the board around the globe, you are now coming out to say that Sunday Igboho lọ́wọ́ President Bola Tinubu. Sori pé orí ẹ ò pé ọmọ àlè ni ẹ́. Torí ìwọ bá pé ni gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọmọ Yorùbá, ó jẹ́ kó fún wa ní ẹ̀rí ni. Kò ń ṣe pé kò kàn fẹnu sọ lásán, wàá fún wa ní ẹ̀rí. Ẹ̀rí yẹn la máa wá work pẹ̀lú. But ó lè mẹ́rin jáde because ó mọ̀ pé irọ́ bánsá ló ń pa. Irọ́ bánsá ló ń pa. Ta ló ń ṣiṣẹ́ fún gangan? Àwọn wo gangan ló ń ṣiṣẹ́ fún? Are you ṣiṣẹ́ fún Nigerians, or you are working against Yoruba people? And whether you like it or not, Yoruba people will scale through whatever we are going through today, because people like you thought that you are the only player in the market in your 50s. Oh, my power, àwa náà lé ẹlẹ́yìn ni. Àwa tá wà lẹ́yìn náà àdúrò. tó bá rò pé ìwọ nìkan ni ọba Elédùmarè fún ní ara láti máa sọ̀rọ̀ láti àwa náà ti di Koikimedia àwọn èèyàn tí ń gbọ́ wa lágbàáyé à ń lé eléré nì so ìwọ náà o gbọ́dọ̀ dúró dáadáa bẹ́ẹ̀ ni mo sọ fún ẹ o gbọ́dọ̀ dúró dáadáa because irú yín a mọ agenda yín sí ilẹ̀ Yorùbá a mọ in tí ẹ fẹ́ ṣe sí ilẹ̀ Yorùbá tó bá fún yín láyè people like you we know that your agenda is to work with the other ethnic people against Yoruba people. We know that already. We have seen it. Wọ́n ní láti sọ fún wa. We know your agenda. Amọ̀rú yín. Mọ̀mọ̀rú yín. But a dúró pẹ̀lú yín. Àwa náà dúró sí lọ́rùn. Like I said, if you think that somebody like me, you can just come out and say all this your rubbish. Bóyá nígbà kan rí. Bóyá ní ìgbà kan rí. But like I said, we will eventually get to where we are going. Those of you on TikTok, we will have to bring it down. Go on another platform and watch the remaining of this program. Lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí, my name is OLAYOMI KOIKI, known as Koikimedia, bringing the world closer to your doorsteps. We will open the phone line, but let me crack on the remaining 20 minutes. Màá fẹ́ ìtókù náà láyè láti wá sọ tẹnu yín. Lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí, mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ̀ ń gbọ́ wa nílé lóko ní gbogbo ibi tí ẹ bá ti ń gbọ́ wa pé ọba Elédùmarè kò ní jẹ́ ká bí irú Omoyele Sowore lọ́mọ ẹ bá ń ṣàmì ẹ̀ torí pé irú òun ó ní àjẹ́ndà burúkú sí ilẹ̀ Yorùbá bí ẹ̀yin ò mọ̀ irú Omoyele Sowore àjẹ́ndà sílẹ̀ Yorùbá kò ń ṣe kékeré but you cannot use cheap blackmailing against Igboho because Igboho jù ẹ lọ pẹ̀lú ọgbọ́n tó ju ọgbọ́n tó wà lórí ẹ lọ okay. We'll come back to that. Sowore made the claim during the recent episode of his Times podcast that was released on Monday evening, where he spoke on political dynamics that shaped the agitation in the Southwest. According to him, the agitation was not entirely organic. Orí ẹ ò pé, orí ẹ kò pé. Báwo ni wọ́n ṣe mọ̀ pé kò wà organic? Jáde kó sọ pé kò wà organic. Nígbà táwa ń tẹ̀lé ẹ ní London. Nígbà táwa ń campaign fún wọn as AAC. To become the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, not knowing that you have another agenda. Can you say then that what you were doing was organic? Mo bẹ̀rẹ̀ ni o, ṣé wọ́n lè jáde nígbà yẹn tó ṣe àwa mọ̀ bóyá wọ́n organic, ṣebí wọ́n nìkan ló mọ̀ pé kò wọ́n organic. Because what you all have done in the past is to use the little bit of your influence. You think that you are the only one that have influence. Ó kù díẹ̀ gbogbo wa à ń padà bọ̀ nínú Nàìjíríà yẹn. Sori tí wọ́n ṣe yẹn àwa náà máa ṣe tiwa. You are not the only one that are the most influential person in Nigeria. There are many people that are speaking every day around the world that are Yoruba people. And like I said, you cannot come and tell us that you are the only one that your platform today, Sahara Reporter. Do you know how many people have come out that are far better and doing very well on their own platform? They might be small, but they are organic. So the world that Yoruba Nation movement was not organic. Orí ò pé ìwọ ni kò wá sọ ibi tí kò organic sí. Wá sọ ibi tí kò wà organic sí. Because you know that Yoruba Nation was organic and you were using your own revolution to try to destroy it. Because you know that nobody was going to go after you. Call anybody for rally today, Sowore, and let's see your capacity. Not in Yoruba land, but even in Nigeria. Have we not seen it? Is that not the same you that they will call you for rally and protest and then before you know, oti kanle oti salo? Wá ti salo? Àbí bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́? Ìwé Sowore, àbí kàn ṣe wọ́n náà láàrin tó bá ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ protest oti salo? We did protest across Yoruba land and we stood our ground because it's our fundamental right for what we are asking for. So let's go further. He further claimed that Tinubu, feeling sidelined by the northern political interest, allegedly resorted to backing separatist agitation. Sowore ọmọ àlè, bomb bastard, ọmọ àlè. Ó ní nítorí pé agitation táwa gbé dání. Tinubu wá rí pé àwọn northerners wọ́n máa sideline òun. Ó wá báàkì àwa tá à ń ṣe Yorùbá nation. Ẹ gbọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́nu ọmọ àlè. Ẹ gbọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́nu ọmọ àlè Yorùbá. Àbí bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́? Kò ń ṣe wọ́n ní Fúlàní pa àbúrò ẹ̀, àbó ti gbàgbé ni. Do you remember that we helped you to also push it out when your brother was killed by the same Fulani? Àbó ti gbàgbé. kò ń ṣe Fúlàní ló pàbúrò ẹni, ọmọ àlè nìyẹn. Torí pé ìwọ gbàgbé ni, wọ́n ní ẹni tó yàgbẹ́ máa gbàgbé, bọ́ ẹni tó kò ní gbàgbé, ìwọ gbàgbé ni. Let's go further. And he looked at it and said, I help you guys to get to power. Ó ní Tinubu sọ pé òun máa help àwa láti gba power. That is what Sowore ọmọ àlè tó ń sọ. You guys don't want my candidacy. I am going to tell Yoruba people to leave. He started funding them. He started funding them. That means pé Tinubu fún wa ní ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ owó. Àbí bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́? When we were struggling to have money to do a lot of things that we wanted to do for our peaceful campaign that was not revolution like you wanted. Because when you talking about revolution, you are talking about people, blood will be shedded on the floor, which Baba Akintoye was against up to date. In back and secret, Baba Akintoye never wanted any bloodshed of Yoruba people, not even other Nigerians. But you wanted to use people from the southeast against Yoruba people to destroy Yoruba land. So you are saying now that for the period of Yoruba nation that is still existing, that Tinubu was funding us. Money Oriye Kokberara Omoyele. Sowore also accused Buhari administration of attempting to eliminate Igboho without knowledge of Seyi Makinde. Ta ló bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe? So Buhari, being who he is, came and tried to kill Igboho, and without informing the governor of the state, they brought special forces from Abuja to come and kill Sunday Igboho, he claimed. Ṣé wọ́n ló set Igboho up tó fi mọ̀ yẹn? Mo bẹ̀rẹ̀ ni o. Ṣé wọ́n ló set it up? Because you can never be trusted. You can never be trusted. Let's go further. Recounting the controversial raid on Igboho's residence in Ibadan, lè fọ̀rọ̀ Igboho sílẹ̀, because Igboho is the brand that you needed to do your leverage. Because another set of people, what in the day? O rò pé wọ́n nìkan ni ìwọ bàbá 50. O rò pé wọ́n nìkan ló wà lórí ọpọ́n. Àwa kan ti ń dìde, àwọn kan tuntun ti ń dìde lẹ́yìn tiwa. And like you said, lọ́wọ́ àwọn tó wà lẹ́yìn ẹ̀ gan to initiate, wọ́n ti fi ẹ́ sílẹ̀. Ṣèbí lára àwọn ọmọ tó ń bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣiṣẹ́, gbogbo ló ń pè wá lẹ́yìn táwọn fún ní 10,000, táwọn fún 20,000. I have the evidence. Lára àwọn tẹjọ́ ń ṣe AAC tó lè fund dáadáa, they call me, they say they need money, we giving them money. Bomb bastard, ọmọ àlè. Gbogbo owó tó ń gbà, ibo kí ló fi ń ṣe? Gbogbo owó tó ń gbà, kí ló fi ń ṣe? Gbogbo owó tó ń gbà lọ́tún lósì, kí ló fi ń ṣe? Ìyẹn ni very dark man ṣe náà máa tiẹ̀ mọ́lé. Tó bá bí ẹ̀dá lọ ṣe tí very dark man sọ, bí a kò ní tiẹ̀ mọ́lé. Have you got billed out? Idiot all over the place. A ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ ni lórí social media yìí, ìwọ nìkan kọ́ ló ní airspace. Tí wọ́n bá ti kọ́ tiẹ̀, àwa náà máa dẹ́ ẹ lóhùn. Tó bá tún jáde, tó bá tún sọ mi, màá tún jáde fún ẹ. Idiot all over the place. Let's go further. Only Sunday Igboho was in that house that day. Báwo ló ṣe mọ̀? But he was hiding. Níbo ló hide sí? Ọmọ àlè. I told everybody till date I was with Sunday Igboho on the day after he was attacked. And there was no blood on his body, and there was no any kind of injury. Ó fẹ́ mọ̀ dí abájọ ni Sowore. Ó fẹ́ mọ̀ dí abájọ ni àìmọ̀ dí abájọ ló bí ẹ nínú. Ó ẹ fẹ́ mọ̀ bí Ìgbòho ṣe kúrò nínú ilé. Ẹ lọ pé bàbá Ìgbòho níbi tó wà níbi tí táwọn Elédùmarè fi sí níbi tó wà. Irú ẹ fẹ́ mọ̀ bí tí Ìgbòho gbà jáde. Ẹ rò pé Ìgbòho fo fẹ́ǹsì ni ọmọ àlè. Bí ẹ̀yin lẹ sọ pé Ìgbòho máa dológbò. Lẹ ṣe pa ológbò lẹ́gbólógbò lọ́mọ àlè. Ṣe bọ́mọ Yorùbá nìwọ. Ṣe bọ́mọ Yorùbá nìwọ pé wọ́n. Ṣe bọ́mọ Ìlàjẹ ló pé rẹ l'Ondo State. Ó wá fẹ́ mọ̀ ibi tí Ìgbòho tí ọba Elédùmarè fi agbára sí lára ẹ̀ tó fi jáde kúrò nínú ilé yẹn. Wàá sì lọ ṣe nǹkan tó máa fi mọ̀ yẹn. Idiot all over the place. Gbogbo yín náà la mọ̀. Gbogbo yín lẹ̀ ń wá àṣírí. Ẹ̀ ń wá àṣírí Ìgbòho. Tẹ́ bá wá àṣírí yẹn, ẹ̀ wá lò against ẹ̀. Àbí bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́? Because when everybody keeps coming out that Igboho of offense, I am telling you, and I have every evidence. Mo mọ bí Igboho ṣe dé ọ̀dọ̀ mi. After tó ti kúrò nínú ilé, after he left his house in Soka, I followed his trail, just like America rescue their own citizen. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ló ṣe rí. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni. But we don't have to give you evidence because Donald Trump was asking the CIA yesterday, should we give information to the public? If otherwise, I can still jail you. The CIA said we will not give you any information. So you tell why Shiribi Igboho ṣe dé ọ̀dọ̀ Koikimedia ẹ túbọ̀ máa wá. But I can put my hand on my chest that Igboho came to my place on the 1st of July 2021. Àjọ sùnmọ́jú ni ẹ̀yin ọmọ àlè bomb bastard. Lọ bèrè lọ́wọ́ Amẹ́ríkà bó ṣe rescue fighter jet wọn tó sọ̀kalẹ̀ bó ṣe rescue ọmọ yẹn orúkọ máa sọ fún gbogbo àgbáyé ni. America boasts that they are the best in it. Igboho will continue to be the best among all the Yorubas. Ẹni tó bá ní agbára ju Igboho lọ kó jáde kó ṣe ní tí Igboho náà bá ṣe kárí ká lè máa dúpẹ́ fún yín. But for now, Igboho was able to leave that house without any single bullet in his body. Not even any mark. I was with him all the way through. A young Mali, bomb bastard, idiot all over the place. And nobody dare pick this video and put it on your own page. Enikowa will order Koikimedia. You dare do that, that page will go down. He added that the alleged operation was intended as a warning to Tinubu. They wanted to kill him so that Tinubu will know that they were not playing. That is what happened. Sowore said, So he wanted the script writer. He wanted to be gbogbo ẹ ṣe lọ ní July 1st 2021 ọmọ àlè tó bá jẹ́ pé wọ́n pa Koiki sínú ilé níjọ́ náà lọ bọ́ ọmọ àlè ọmọ Yorùbá olórí burúkú yìí bó ṣe máa sọ̀rọ̀ náà ní sí nìyẹn tó bá jẹ́ pé wọ́n rí Ìgbòho pa sínú ilé ni ẹ lè imagine irú nǹkan tó rú àwọn ilé máa sọ lẹ́ni but Ọlọ́run fẹ́ jẹ́ ká rírú ọ̀rọ̀ tèmi sọ náà ni Ọlọ́run tó ń bẹ lẹ́yìn Koikimedia tó ń bẹ lẹ́yìn Ìgbòho tó ń bẹ lẹ́yìn bàbá kúrò mo ní mi ni the last man standing àjọ máa mú nǹkan lẹ́tàn whether you like it or not Igboho will continue to endorse and support Tinubu tó bá wùn ẹ̀ kó lọ já sómi kó máa bá lọ problem tiẹ̀ nìyẹn ẹnu ẹ̀ lájọ wà ẹnu ẹ̀ ní gbogbo àjọ wà yìí and very soon èmi náà ń bọ̀ nlé mò ń bọ̀ nlé ó kù díẹ̀ ìwọ̀nba díẹ̀ ló kù bóyá next year la máa dé ni bóyá yẹ̀ yìí ni ó kù díẹ̀ idiot all over the place ìwọ ń sọ̀rọ̀ pé Tinubu fund Igboho òun ló wá ń fund àwa tá à ń struggle fowó tá à ń wá owó tá à ń béèrè owó lọ́wọ́ members of the public tá a fẹ́ fi ṣe Yorùbá nation ṣèbí ìwọ rí owó gbà ló fi ń ṣe Sahara reporter ṣèbí ìwọ rí owó gbà that is the evidence here. Let's go back to Google. Who is funding Sahara reporter? Go and put that on Google. Ẹ lọ fi sórí Google. Who is funding Sahara reporter? Ta ló fund ẹ tó fi dìde lẹ́ni tó fi sọ pé the Sahara reporter? Do you think that all those people that are back home as well, if they are well funded, they will do better than you? Omoyele, bomb bastard, idiot all over the place. Do you think that if nobody is funding you, ìwà lè di Sowore wà di Sahara reporter ta ló máa mú ẹ? Ṣèbú ọ̀rọ̀ owó fún ẹni. Èlò lọ fún ẹ àwọn foundation yìí ẹ gbọ́ rí èlò lọ fún ẹ èlò ló gbà lọ́wọ́ àwọn foundation yìí. Can you give us the exact figure you collected from them? I will come to David Odoye on his article mo ti bẹ́ẹ̀ mu jáde mo ń bọ̀. Let me repeat again. Sahara reporter tẹ́ ń kà lẹ́ni tẹ́ ń sọ pé Sahara wọ́n kówó fún Sahara tó fi ń di Sahara lẹ́ni ni. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni àwọn kan ló wà lẹ́yìn wọn náà ni. And those names are grant from international philanthropic. Kí ni wọ́n ṣe philanthropic? Àmọ́ tí gbogbo náà pè ní philanthropic. Gbogbo ọmọ tí ẹni tó ní Microsoft, Bill Gates, àmọ́ tó ń ṣe l'Áfíríkà léde ni. Àmọ́ gbogbo wàhálà tó ti dá sílẹ̀ nínú Áfíríkà léde. So kí ni agenda MacArthur Foundation tó kówó fún Sowore tó fi ṣe Sahara reporter léde? Kí ni agenda Ford Foundation tó kówó fún ẹ tó fi ń ṣe Sahara reporter lénìí? Kí ni agenda Omidiya ṣáwọn èèyàn tẹ̀ dàbí àwọn bíi Fúlàní? Omidiya Foundation. These are all the people that funded you. So má wá jáde máa fẹ̀gẹ̀ sáwa. Má wá jáde kó wá máa fẹ̀gẹ̀ fún wa. Because a mọ gbogbo agenda yín. And agenda ẹ Ọlọ́run ti ṣe kí ni? Ó ti bá wa bàjẹ́. Agenda yín ẹ lè destroy Igboho ni mo sọ. Ẹ lè ever destroy ọmọdé Yẹmọ Igboho ṣá. Ó ju gbogbo yín lọ. Kò ń ṣe tẹnu. And you know that. And you know that very well because you can say anything from now to thy kingdom come. That agenda, you can never destroy it. So let's go further because of the time. Now, let's go back to the article tó kọ. So Tinubu had to retreat because it was based on their own security intelligence that Buhari knew Tinubu was behind them. But they had already achieved what he wanted to achieve, which was to scare Buhari people to know that he has the capacity to disrupt the country. Abibeko. The same Buhari. So that means you were more happy that Buhari did everything he did. And that's the evidence I've played in that video. Because you know I do now. Because nígbà tí Buhari wọlé, you were so excited with the Northerners. Because you have an agenda. So, ṣé Tinubu ò ní right láti the president? Is Tinubu not have the same right to be the president? Why did Buhari never wanted Tinubu to be the president? Oh, ṣé torí pé àwọn ṣe Yorùbá nation? Torí àwọn àgbẹ̀ Yorùbá nation dání kò mí pa stupidi. Stupidi. Akọ̀dákẹ́ ni pé President Tinubu fi ọ̀rọ̀ Nàìjíríà sílẹ̀ kájọ máa ṣe Yorùbá nation. Ọ̀rọ̀ pa stupidi ni. If we have go hard with you as at the time, wọ́n ọ̀bẹ ní kankan dá. Kẹwàá máa sọ fún wa pé a lè support Tinubu. Ṣé Tinubu ò ní right ni? Ìwé mélòó ni Buhari kà? Ìwé mélòó ni Buhari kà ju Tinubu lọ? So what you are happy was Buhari became the president after Tinubu put his hand to the Yoruba people and said, "Ẹ dìbò fún." It's Tinubu that brought Buhari to the southwest. Tinubu ló gbé Buhari wá náà. Ta ló mọ Buhari? Ta ló mọ wèrè? Ta ló mọ àwọn ọmọ oníran bíi tiwọn náà? Ṣebí Tinubu ló gbé wá? And when Tinubu brought Buhari, we thought that, okay, based on what Tinubu told the Yoruba people, vote for him, it will be my turn. Èmi ló kàn. Kí ló wà níbẹ̀? Kí ló wà nínú èmi ló kàn? Yes, he has the right to be the president. Everybody has the right. You will not need right láti ṣe president, but nobody will vote for you. Not even your family. Not even your wife. Not even your children. Nobody will vote for you. Not even those that you are calling AAC. So let's put this out to Sowore. There is no amount of distort information in 2026 that you can use to destroy Yoruba people. Tó bá fẹ́ fi orí Yorùbá méjì gbára wọn, irọ́ ló pa. Because we know your kind. Let's go further. The allegation comes amid ongoing controversy surrounding Igboho's recent political stance and his open support. Yes, he has every right to support Tinubu. Because nígbà tí Tinubu gbé oṣù tó gbé Buhari wá, ó sọ fún Buhari pé màá mú ẹ lọ sọ́dọ̀ àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá ní southwest. Wá dìbò fún ẹ. Tẹ́ bá dẹ̀ ti ṣe tiyín tán, àwa ló máa kàn. According to the rotation, Southwest was meant to have the presidency, regardless of whether we were campaigning for the dissolution of Nigeria. That is the current rotation. It comes back to the Southwest, and the person that thinks that he can be that president based on whatever agenda or whatever arrangement that they have, Tinubu put himself out. But we know what Buhari wanted to do. He wanted to destroy the agenda, the ambition, because everybody have the right to be ambition. There's nothing wrong in that. So why should Buhari wanted to destroy the ambition of another man that will say he wants to be the president? Oh, is it because that we were not interested in that section? So for that reason, we should allow the Fulani to destroy Tinubu. That's what you're saying. Orí ẹ̀ ń tanná sọ́bẹ̀, ọmọ àlè. Orí ẹ̀ ó ṣe kíni, ó ń tanná sọ́bẹ̀. This is Koikimedia bringing the world closer to your doorstep. He stressed that the movement cannot be halted by a single figure. Adding, no one can stop the emancipation of the Yoruba nation agitation, not even Sunday Igboho himself. Koiki had also dismissed criticism over Igboho's support for Tinubu, insisting that the activists remain committed to his personal political choice. Yes, I have said so. That is his political choice. And he can do whatever he thinks is still unfavorable for the Yoruba people. Ṣé ká fi àwọn Fúlàní sílẹ̀ kó pa wá tán? Ṣé ká fi àwọn Fúlàní sílẹ̀ because àfẹ́ Tinubu? Oh, ìtòrí àfẹ́ Tinubu nísìn. Oh, I don't want Tinubu. Oh, hey, Tinubu. Oh. And they must finish us in a country where security has become a daily butter that many people are facing millions of naira and many problems. Idiot all over the place. And on that note, let's quickly go to the RippleNigeria.com. This was written by David Odoye. How many of you know him? He's an investigative journalist like Swell. So Sowore rò pé òun nìkan làwọn tó ṣe. Sowore ó ti dàgbà. Àwa tá wà lẹ́yìn ẹ̀, àwa náà ti ń gbìyànjú. Ọlọ́run dẹ̀ ti ń dé gbìyànjú wa sáde. So kí ni nǹkan tó wá ń sọ? Kí ni nǹkan tó ń sọ? Àbí? Kí ni nǹkan tó ń sọ? Kí ni nǹkan tó ń sọ? Let's quickly read this article from Odoye. Sowore is not who he claims he is. The biggest plant in West Africa, sponsored by the U.S. intelligence agency, David Odoye. This was an article 11 months ago, May 13, 2025. Let's read according to what David Odoye knows. I don't know what he knows, because everybody has their fact and everybody knows where they find their information. But what I am saying to you, give us your evidence that we were funded. Because if you say that Tinubu was funding, I may as well be saying that I was funded. So I need to know which of my account did Tinubu pay the money to, which of the account that the Sheyi Tinubu paid us. Orí òpè ọmọ àlè. Nigerian investigative journalist David Odoye has exposed former presidential candidate of the African Action Congress, AAC, in 2023 general election, Omoyele Sowore, claiming his stance as a revolutionary activist is just a front, as he is the biggest plant in West Africa who is sponsored by U.S. intelligence agencies. Let's read further. David Odoye, who made the assertion in a post on his verified X handle, which was former Twitter, on Monday night said, Omoyele Sowore, the publisher of online news platform Sahara Reporter and the convener of #RevolutionNow, is a front ẹni tó ń gbáwájú undercover ẹni tó fẹ́ jẹ́ kó mọ in tó ń ṣe gangan, because tó bá mọ̀ ó mọ̀ pé àṣírí máa tú. Undercover agent for the agency, whose major task is to destabilize African countries through subterfuge. Wọ́n ní Sowore, David Odoye ní wọ́n plant ẹni. Ṣé torí ẹ̀ làwọn yẹn ṣe fún ẹ lówó? Èló gan ló gbà? Èló lówó tó fún ẹ? Because we know that it's not a small money. Let's go further. He specifically mentioned, ẹ gbọ́ bí báyìí dáadáa, I have given you the 3 names. David Odoye mentioned those names in this article. Let's read further. He specifically mentioned some of the agencies allegedly sponsoring Sowore's platform, to include the Ford Foundation, MacArthur Foundation, and Omidyar Network, who are all US agency. Àwọn US ló ní agency yẹn. So àwọn ni wọ́n ń gbé owó gbẹ̀ngbẹ̀gbẹ̀ngbẹ̀ ńláńlá tọ́kọ̀ fún Sahara Reporter bóyá máa sọ pé òun ṣe investigative journalist, but into bá ní kó máa ṣe wọ́n ní kó máa ṣe lọ. Do you know how many undercover ló wà ní Iran nísìn? As the war is going into a very difficult day, by the end of tomorrow morning, gbas, according to Donald Trump. But do you know that they still have a lot of undercover working in Iran? That is how they around the world. Is Sowore also an undercover in the west part of Africa? That is what David Odoye is putting out here. Who are all agency? He added that President Bola Tinubu is also working for the same agency, according to David Odoye. I have already said everything I have to say about Sowore. He works for the same people Tinubu works for. Sori pé ìwọ tó ní èèyàn kan work fún Tinubu tó ń fund Odoye òun tẹ̀ tún mú Tinubu mọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ tiẹ̀. David Odoye ò ṣe kọ article. You think that if David Odoye have all the evidence on Igboho, kí ló kàn pẹ̀lú Igboho, he will have put it out. Kò mọ Igboho rí, kò Igboho kò bọ́, kò jẹun pẹ̀lú ẹ̀. I don't have David Odoye's number. If David Odoye has that credible information, he will have released it. Even Dr. Kemi Oluloyo will have released it. Shoyombo, these are some of the best investigative journalists that we have. You think that you are the only investigative journalist? They play. Sowore, they play. Just because he wears the beret and shout #revolution now, some people think that in and of itself must put him against the status quo. Meanwhile, the oldest trick in the Western foreign intelligence book is to infiltrate and subvert revolution space using their funded Trojan horses. We know that America does it. We know all the countries around the world that does it. They wanted to have a revolution in Iran in December. Ó fail, kò work. Yes, it's something that they do. Wá sponsor àwọn kan, wá kówó fún wọn, wá filtrate wọn. Wọ́n ní Sowore, wọ́n ní irú ẹ̀ ni wọ́n náà ń ṣe, according to David Odoye. And I'm not sure whether you have taken him to court. Ó ti gbé lọ court sí, àbí? We're almost there. They have literally gone as far as embedding their undercover agent like Sowore into organizations they want to infiltrate and getting them to even marry members of this organization and raise kids with them. And it's about undercover. Let me tell you something. I've lived in the West for 29 years. Sometimes, wá fẹ́ obìnrin mi, àbí kọ́kùnrin fẹ́ obìnrin, wá jọ máa gbé ilé bí ọkọ àti táyà. ọkọ ní mọrú iṣẹ́ tọ́bìnrin yẹn ṣe, obìnrin gan ní mọrú kọ́tọ́ kan ṣe, á dẹ̀ máa lọ sí normal day job ẹ̀. Bí èèyàn rò pé movie nìkan tá máa ń ṣe, kò ń ṣe movie. This is the reality of the world that we are living today. Bó ṣe ń live nìyẹn. They will implant somebody, wọ́n á ní kó lọ gbé ní Britain, wọ́n á ní kó lọ gbé l'America, á fẹ́yàwó síbẹ̀, á bímọ síbẹ̀, á dẹ̀ máa ṣe daily job ẹ̀. But we know the kind of people that they are. Ìyẹn làwọn kan ṣe máa ń wonder pé maybe people like us as well, we are funded. Orí yín ò pé, orí gbogbo yín ò pé, ẹ̀yin tẹ́ bá ń ronú bẹ́ẹ̀, orí ìyá mi máa mú gbogbo yín ni, bomb bastard all over the place. Now, compared to that level of subversive effort, how hard is it to fund one yellow beret wearing nothing in West Africa to jump around and destroy the actual revolutionary movement? Wọ́n ní Sowore gangan ni kò jẹ́ kí revolution gangan jáde because kò sí anything tó bá ń ṣe Nàìjíríà báyìí, as a leader. He wants to be the leader. He wants to lead from the front. He wants to lead from the front. Somebody is commenting here, says, I was secretary of Sowore Take It Back movement in UK. They donated to him in his political pursuit. He squandered the money and we sent to him to use it to live in a 5-star hotel. S.O. Opanuga on the YouTube. That's the comment here. And maybe we should screenshot this so that I can send it to Sowore. I've screenshot it. We can send it to Sowore. I send it. I was the secretary, according to S.O. Opanuga, of Take It Back movement. Wọ́n ní Sowore, wọ́n ní owó tó gbà. Wọ́n ní ó fi lọ sùn sí 5-star hotel. Sahara Reporter was traditionally supported by grants donated by international foundation and non-governmental organization. Ìwọ tẹ́ rówó fi bẹ̀rẹ̀ ilé-iṣẹ́. Do you know millions of Nigerians that need money as well, that want to be funded? They cannot be funded. So if you are funded for whatever reason and you don't know what to say, keep Igboho's name out of your dirty, stinking mouth. Tó bá mọ ọ̀rọ̀ tó máa sọ tó bá ti ń bí ẹṣẹ́ àwọn wèrè àtàsínmi tẹ́jọ́ ń ṣe interview. Because tẹ́ ẹ̀ báyìí tí dárúkọ Igboho, hate him or like him, you don't have to respect his views. You don't have to respect. Mo sì gba message kan tíyàn kan tó kàn sọ jágbajàgba lánàá, Igboho ṣe kinní kan, mo ní àwọn ọmọ àlè. Ó yí sì fẹ́yìn kẹwàá nílùú òyìnbó kẹ máa pariwo Igboho, ẹ máa bọ̀ ń lé la máa ń sọ fún yín. I was in Nigeria in 2021. My mother was here. God bless her soul. Kọ́lọ́mbà Fọ̀nrúkẹ́. Ìjọ tí máa wá sí Nàìjíríà mo ṣe lọ dágbére fún mọ́mísí mi. Ìjọ tí mo fẹ́ wá sí Nàìjíríà ní 2021 January láti wá support Igboho àti Bàbá Akíntóyè. Àwọn ń ṣe pẹ̀lẹ́nu. A dẹ̀ support Sowore náà. A fi gbogbo ara support ẹ̀. Èmi ò donate, but mo donate service mi because the service is still there. Go and Google my name and Sowore. I invited him to the studio in Croydon. I worked with him at the, I think, University University of East London. Tako gbogbo ẹ̀ lọ, èmi mo mọ owó tí mo fi wọ káàbù lọ síbẹ̀, kò bá jẹ́ 10 pounds ni mo ná, sweat tèmi náà wà nínú owó ẹ̀. And as at that time, àti ẹ̀ tí mọ Igboho, àti ẹ̀mẹ́ tó ń pè ní Igboho, àwọn tó mọ̀ but èmi ò mọ̀. So don't come out and start saying, if you don't like Igboho, there's no problem about that. But má jáde kó wá sọ pé wọ́n funded. I am in this movement. We might not be perfect. We might have said things. We might be wrong. But I am in this movement, and I can tell you anybody categorically, Igboho was not funded. Because tó bá fund Igboho, èmi gan-an mo gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ nínú ẹ̀, mo gbọ́dọ̀ rí aspect of it. Ambosibosi. Tó bá fund Igboho, Igboho was pinned down in Benin Republic for 2 years. Do you know what it means to be in the prison for 2 years? Orí ọ̀pẹ, Omoyele Sowore. 2 years ni Igboho ló ní Benin Republic. So fẹ́ kó padà wá sílé. People like Sowore doesn't want Igboho to come back home. So you want Igboho to remain in exile so that ìwọ nìkan ló máa jẹ́ Superman. Igboho ti dé sí gbogbo yín lọ́rùn, gbogbo yín máa kú dànù ni. Because in ten fẹ́ nìyẹn, because fẹ́ jẹ́ kí Igboho padà wá sílé, fẹ́ jẹ́ kí Igboho kó wà ní exile. Kẹ́yìn máa show macho man, kó máa náà wá revolution. Ibo ló ti fẹ́ rí revolution? David Odoye sọ pé revolution tó ń wá ó ń disturb with the actual revolution tó yẹ kó jáde gangan. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni, àwọn tó ń comment nísìnyí, wọ́n ní we donated money for Sowore to come to UEL, London, before talking US. Sowore return our money. So, like I said, as much as, when you said first thing about Igboho, I thought, there was no, we released a press release. Ó ti wá launch interview, what fund Igboho? O gbọ́dọ̀ fún mi ní evidence yẹn. Tó bá fún mi ní evidence yẹn, I will withdraw my service from Igboho. Yes, I said it live and direct here. If you give me the evidence that Igboho was collecting money from President Bola Tinubu, I will stop being a spokesman. I will withdraw my service from him. Idiot all over the place. I want integrity. Ebi ò dẹ̀ pa mí. Mo ò dẹ̀ mọ ẹrí tẹ́lẹ̀. Mo mọ ẹrí tẹ́lẹ̀ ni. Ìwọ dẹ̀ kọ́ lọ mú mi wá sí lóyìnbó. O dẹ̀ ju bàbá mi lọ. O dẹ̀ ju màmá mi lọ. So who the hell are you? MK Abiola, ó máa ń jókòó sí pálọ̀ bàbá mi ni. MK Abiola tí wọ́n ń pọ́nlé yẹn, ó máa ń jókòó sí pálọ̀ bàbá mi tí bàbá tèmi sì wà nínú bẹ́ẹ̀dù tó ń sùn. Idiot all over the place. Idiot. Orí ẹ̀ ò pé. Tá bá dákẹ́ àkànmá ń dákẹ́ nígbà míì ni. Ìwọ ń sọ pé wọ́n lọ ń bá MKO. MKO máa ń wá sílé bàbá tèmi, á jókòó bàbá tèmi sì wà. Alhaji Omotayo Koiki. Idiot all over the place. Kọ́ lọ bá ń fọ̀rún kí àwọn méjèèjì. Wọ́n ti pàdé ara wọn báyìí nísìn. So be careful about, some of the things that you say. Tó bá fún mi ní evidence, mo tún sọ live and direct. I will withdraw my service from Igboho as the spokesman. Ìyàn mi gbà níjọ ṣe mọ́. Má tarnish image any one of us. Torí pé òun wá leverage. O lè di president in Nigeria. Tinubu ṣì ní weight jù ẹ lọ nínú Nigeria. Whether you like it or you hate it. And he's still the president. Criticize his policy, criticize his government, but don't drag Igboho into that name. Pé wọ́n sponsor àwa ni, wọ́n fund àwa ni. Ó mọ mí ní nǹkan tó ń sọ yẹn ṣá. Tó lè gbọ́ omijé kúrò lójú èèyàn. Tó bá pa mí sínú ilé Igboho bí olórí burúkú eléṣe máa sọ náà nìyẹn pé wọ́n fund wa ni. Kò ní dá fún òní ṣoríire. Òní ṣoríire fún ọ̀rọ̀ tó sọ yẹn. Tó bá yẹ pé wọ́n pa mí sínú ilé níjọ́ náà Ọlọ́run bó ṣe máa wá jáde nísìnyí tó máa sọ pé wọ́n fund àwa náà nìyẹn. Àwọn èèyàn kàn ní ọmọ àlè ó pẹ́ kó tó kú dànù. Ọlọ́run tẹ̀lé ní kó má pààyàn sínú ilé. Ikú yẹn ló bá pàyà yìí. Saying rubbish. Kí ló mean pé wọ́n fund wa? Do you understand what you're saying? Owó tèmi lèmi fi ń travel yàtọ̀ sígbà tí mo lọ tí a fẹ́ ṣe July làwọn group kan ní Igboho náà dáwó fún mi pé kí n fi lọ sí Nàìjíríà. Ó ìyá mi máa ń sanwó flight mi tí máa lọ sí Nàìjíríà ni àbí sí Benin Republic. Orí ò pé. Idiot all over the place. Tó bá yẹ pé àwítán ní òun lòún gba àwọn lédìké àwọn lédìké òfò ló gbà jáde. Ìwọ ló sanwó lọ́yà fún wọn ni. Ṣèbí àwọn diaspora ló contribute gbogbo aláṣẹ gbogbo ẹ̀ tí a pariwo síta. Ìwọ nìkan ló pariwo ni. Mo sọ fún ẹ pé ìwọ nìkan kọ́ ni media mọ́ nísìn. Media ti pọ̀. Media tó wà lẹ́yìn tèmi gan kò ń sọ̀rọ̀ 10 kò ń sọ̀rọ̀ 20. Who the hell are you tani wọ́n Sowore tó ń pariwo? Orí ẹ̀ ò pé rárá. Tó bá fẹ́ bá ọmọ Igbo destroy Nigeria, lọ bá wọn destroy Nigeria, but lè destroy ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. Àbá yín ta tán délẹ̀. Gbogbo ẹnu ni mo fi sọ. Gbogbo ẹnu ni mo fi sọ. Èmi náà dẹ̀ ń bọ̀ nílé kù díẹ̀. Next year ni ọdún yìí ni ó kù díẹ̀. Bó bá wọn ẹni tó bá wọn ẹni kò sọ. But o gbọ́dọ̀ fún wa ní evidence. Evidence yẹn là wá need. Kí ló dé gan? Kí ni Igboho ṣe fún gbogbo yín? Ó dé fìlà Tinubu, òun ló máa kọ́kọ́ ṣe tẹ́nìkan ṣe rí ni. Kí ló ń bọ̀ lókè tí ilé ọgbà? Ilé ayé la ti rí. Kí ló ń bọ̀ lókè tí ilé ọgbà? Tó bá náà bá Tinubu ṣe ó bá ṣe náà nìyẹn. Kí ló ń bí gbogbo yín nú fún? Ẹ fi sílẹ̀ lọ́rùn náà. Kí ló dé? Kò sí tó ń bọ̀ lókè. Ilé ayé tẹ́ pé ìgbà tí ìyá mi kú kò mú kankan lọ. Gbogbo tó ní ló kó sílẹ̀. Kí la gbé kí la jù. Tẹ́ wá fi máa borúkọ ẹ̀jẹ̀. Òun ló máa kọ́kọ́ sọ̀rọ̀ ni. Buhari ò sọ̀rọ̀ tó dín tí tá ọba win. Buhari tí wọ́n campaign fún kò sọ pé ìjẹ́ ta sílẹ̀ ni. Ẹ ṣe get out. Ẹ get out jọ. Ẹ get out. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni inú struggle yẹn ni màmá Igboho kú sí. Ṣèbí màmá tiẹ̀ sì wà láyé. Inú struggle yẹn ni màmá ẹ̀ kú sí. Ẹgbẹ́nu lọ sọ. Àwa máa dúró ti Igboho bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ̀. Àfi tó bá fún mi ní evidence pé ó gbowó lóòótọ́ Koiki evidence ni kò dẹ̀ fi síta náà kí gbogbo èèyàn rí lágbàáyé kó má jẹ́ pé mi nìkan ló máa fún. I'll tell Igboho that I can't be your spokesman anymore. But ìyàn mi pé relationship wa máa tán. À ń bọ̀sibọ̀sí o lè fún alẹ́ evidence yẹn. Idiot all over the place. Tó bá ń campaign nísìn tó bá release owó pé kó fi ṣe security ìyẹn ò lè kà yẹn mọ́. Kí ló dé gan? Kí ni wàhálà Igboho? Kí ni Igboho ṣe? Ó ń bá Fúlàní jà. Ó dẹ̀ ní Buhari òun ò fẹ́ nǹkan tẹ́ ń ṣe. Ó dá ká kúkú pín Nàìjíríà. Tó bá yẹ pé ó bá sójà jà níjọ́ náà lọ́hùn báwọn olórí burúkú ilé ìṣe máa jáde nìyẹn tó máa kọ̀kọ́ kúkọ̀ sínú pépà. Ọlọ́run tó fún lọ́pọlọ. Ó rò pé kò lè bá wọn jà níjọ́ yẹn ni. Ẹ rò pẹ́nu ni. Ó lè bá wọn jà. But àwọn nǹkan míì wà ìyàn kò ń ṣòwò. Ẹ̀yin mọ àwọn nǹkan tó dìde sí ni pé ìjà wo ló fẹ́ jà? Ẹ fi fìjà sílẹ̀. Wọ́n ní mọ̀jàmọ̀sá la fi máa akíkanjú tó bá mọ̀ jà tó bá mọ̀ ọgbà tó yẹ kó fi sẹ́yìn wàá bógun lọ ẹlòmíì ló máa wá kọ ìtàn ẹ àwọn ọ̀dẹ̀ ní jókòó kéèyàn kan wá kọ ìtàn tiwa lágbára Ọlọ́run Ìgbòho lè dàlúrù ó rò pé a lè dàlúrù but at some point bàbá Akíntóyè ní kò sí tó jọ sẹ́ẹ̀ ọ̀nà tá a máa fi gbà á Yorùbá máa bára wọn jà nọ́mà nìyẹn àní gbọ́ síra wa lẹ́nu but lórí pé ìpìlẹ̀ Yorùbá da náà kọ́ ni gbogbo wọn sá fún ni àtẹni tó fẹ́ restructure àtẹni tó fẹ́ regional àtẹni tó fẹ́ kí Nàìjíríà kó pín àní kílẹ̀ Yorùbá kó tẹ́ wa lọ́rùn ṣé bá ṣe dá airport sílẹ̀ nísìn ṣé kò ní tẹ́ lọ́rùn kí n gba London lọ sí Ogun State ó tẹ́ mi lọ́rùn nàdá kí n lọ sí Lagos State kí ni mo fẹ́ lọ ṣe ní Lagos State so kò ń ṣe pé àmọ́ tẹ́ ká ṣe ìyí tí wọ́n fẹ́ ṣe ní revolution yẹn ìwọ ò lè ṣe ni because wọ́n ní agenda ni ìyí tí wọ́n adẹ̀pà lọ́dọ̀ David Odoye ká tó máa tẹ̀síwájú ká kọ́ gba call bí méjì mẹ́ta àti pé a ti wà ní exactly 1 hour wọ́n ní ó gba $175,000 lọ́wọ́ Ford Foundation wọ́n donate fún ẹ wọ́n ní ó gba $450,000 grant lọ́wọ́ Omidia Foundation wọ́n ní Sahara Reporter Media Foundation was awarded $1.3 million between 2016 and 2019, 17, 18, 19 for 3 good years. Wọ́n ló gba $1.6 million. Níbo ló kó sí kí ló fi ṣe? Ìwọ tó gba $1.6 million. Iléeṣẹ́ ìmàgùnkè ṣé o tẹ̀ ń sanwó fún àwọn staff ẹ̀ dáadáa ṣá? Ṣé o ń sanwó fún wọn dáadáa? Mo ó pọ̀ fún wọn ní enough. Mo ó pé òun fún wọn ní enough. Kò ń ṣe pé kàn fún wọn ní spident. Mo ó pé òun take care àwọn dáadáa. Òun fún wọn ní nítorí kó fún wọn. Tó ń ṣe pé kàn lò wọn bí ti Nàìjíríà. Ṣọ́rẹ́ o. Ìwọ Omoyele Sowore àbí kí ló ń pè kó ṣọ́rẹ́. I don't want to come out for you again. Because kò wọ́tẹ̀. Ó dẹ̀ lè jẹ́ ẹ̀gbọ́n mi. I am 48 years old. Ọmọ ọdún mélòó ni ẹ́? Mo mọ ẹ̀gbọ́n mi. Mo mọ ẹni tó jẹ́ ẹ̀gbọ́n mi. Step brother mi ti pè mí lánàá. A sọ̀rọ̀ lánàá. So iṣẹ́ ẹ̀gbọ́n mi tí a bá sọ pé kinní. Mo dẹ̀ ń ṣe ọmọ tálákà o. Má rò pé ọmọ tálákà tó dìde tó wá Yorùbá nation tó fẹ́ fi popular. Irọ́ o. Lọ ṣe finding rẹ̀ dáadáa. Ìdílé tèmi fi wá ìdílé tó dáadáa ni o. À ń ṣe jágbàjàgbà. Tíyá mi àti bàbá mi fi kú láyé. Wọ́n ò ṣe jágbàjàgbà. Bẹ́ẹ̀ mi náà tí máa fi dàgbà tí máa fi dògbò. Ní bá jágbàjàgbà lọ́wọ́ mi. Tí Tinubu bá ní tí President Tinubu àti Igboho bá ní àwọn jọ fẹ́ ṣe nísìn. Kí ló wà níbẹ̀? Kí ló bọ̀ lókè tí ilé ọgbà rí? Trump gan ó sì sọ fún Iran pé ẹ jẹ́ ká sort problem tó wà lẹ́yìn fún àwọn máa blow gbogbo nǹkan dànù. Ṣé káwa wá bá nǹkan tá a bá nǹkan jẹ́ ṣé àwa náà kọ́ la máa padà tún ṣe ni? Ìgbòho dẹ̀ náà òun lọ ní that route. Òun fẹ́ security ẹ̀ fún òun ní security àbólẹ̀ Yorùbá. So that is about it with Sowore. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ bá mọ Sowore ẹ call attention ẹ̀. Ẹ̀yin àgbàlagbà lẹ̀ Yorùbá ẹ call attention Sowore. Àwa lè bá sọ in a civilized like this. Àwọn kan lè má gbà fún bẹ́ẹ̀. Because Nigeria is so tense lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ tá wà yìí. So ẹ wọ́n Sowore ẹ̀yin àgbàlagbà ẹ̀yin ọba ẹ pé ìwọ tó lọ disrespect Ọọ̀ni of Ifẹ̀ nílé Ifẹ̀ orí tí ọmọ Yorùbá ní ìwọ́ṣá o rò pé àgbàgbé gbogbo yẹn ni àgbàgbé gbogbo yẹn náà o lọ sórí ilé kábíyèsí o lọ ń disrespect oní kábíyèsí ti pẹ́ láti jáde wúdẹ̀ ta ni wọ́ ọmọ ta ni ẹ́ gan ní Nàìjíríà sọrúkọ bàbá ẹ̀ àti ìyá ẹ̀ fún wa ká mọ̀ ìbí ó lọ sí ilé Ifẹ̀ tó lọ disrespect wọn ṣọ́rẹ́ o Sowore kò ṣọ́rẹ́. So I open the phone line tó bá fẹ́ pè so ká lè end the broadcast kí n kàn fẹ́ yẹn wa náà ní àyè méjì mẹ́ta so number náà tẹ́ máa ń pèsè náà ni tó bá ti mọ number studio wa tó bá dẹ̀ yẹ pé the other number náà lè fẹ́ pèsè méjèèjì wà open so ká kọ́ ṣe ní kíákíá so iṣẹ́ pọ̀ tá a fẹ́ ṣe ìyẹn rẹ̀ ní tó bá fẹ́ support ilé iṣẹ́ wa ẹ support wa àwa ó wà ethical àwa ń gbowó so mo kí gbogbo èèyàn wa ẹ ṣé gan ni gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ bá wa dá sí so nọ́mbà méjèèjì tẹ́ bá fẹ́ pè ẹ pè wá ká jọ sá sí kíákíá ìtẹ́yìn náà bá fẹ́ bá wa sọ ká tó máa tẹ̀síwájú mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ bá wa comment pátápátá lọ́tún lósì bẹ́ẹ̀ ni mọ̀jà mọ̀sálàfí máa kíkanjú tó bá sá nígbà tí kíní wàá kọ̀ bógun lọ́ntì ẹni mo kí bàbá mi David Adégoyè ẹnjìnà Ọ̀pánúgà ẹ pè mí nígbà tí alájà kú mo ń bá yín jà ẹ pè mí rárá kò ń ṣe relationship mi àti ní UK bíbá so a lè kúkú bára wa jà tẹ́lẹ̀ rí so in tó bá wọn ẹni kò sọ Jack Olúṣọlá I'm not interested in your comment so if you dey go Nigeria now you are okay so òun lọ òun bọ̀ náà ẹ̀bẹ́ yìí lọ ń bọ̀ so torí pa fẹ́ gba Yorùbá nation nísìn so kàwá wà stupid àgbọ̀dọ̀ tún wọ ọ̀nà mìta lè fi gbà owó mélòó ni gbogbo yín gan kó sílẹ̀ tẹ́ máa ń pariwo pé àti di politician nísìn èyí lè máa sọ pé àti di politician ẹ bá dà àti di politician ẹ̀bẹ́ yìí lọlé ẹ̀bẹ́ yìí wọ okay ẹ tó ní ìwé tó ń lọ tó ń bọ̀ ó yàtọ̀ sẹ́ni tó wà Nàìjíríà náà ẹ jẹ́ kó jágbajàgba lọ́jọ́ àwọn tèmi tí ń pè mí. Hello. Yeah. Wọ́n náà ti bá mi send picture gbà tí mo wálé. Ó ṣé jàre. Mo máa lọ wò nísìn. Máa wò nísìn. Ẹ sọ pé àti wá so àwa tá wá fẹnu wa gún la ṣe kinní kan. So torí pé mo fẹ́ gba Yorùbá nìkan nísìn. So èbé mi access mi lọ Nàìjíríà náà. Èmi ti dé padà nísìn, mò ń gbádùn nulé nísìn, mo jẹun mo you know potato mo ti potato tẹ ata ṣe àìtí jẹ. Àbí kí lẹ sọ lẹ́nu. Ìwà jẹ́gẹ́ tẹ́ máa fi pa ni, ìyẹn kàn lè fi mí pa o. Òun ni potato tí mo ṣe ní mélòó mo fẹ́ jẹ ńbẹ̀. Mélòó ni mo fẹ́ jẹ mi eléyìí nísìn. Ẹyin crate 12 ni mo rà. 12 pieces ni mo rà. Mo ti dẹyin sí. Nígbà tí mo rí article yẹn ni mo ní kí ló tún ṣe bọ̀bọ́ yìí. So ẹ ṣọ́ra yín ọgbẹ̀yìn tẹ máa ń sọ pé kinní kan Koiki ìwọ náà ti ṣe kinní kan. Ẹ̀yin ẹ fira yín sílẹ̀ náà. Púpọ̀ nínú nǹkan tẹ́ lè ṣe táwa ń ṣe. Tẹ bá dáwó fún wa nígbà yẹn pé tá à ń ṣe, tẹ́ bá dẹ̀ like tá à ń ṣe mọ́ kẹ́ fuck off. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni mo sọ ẹ fuck off. Tẹ bá dáwó fún wa nígbà yẹn tẹ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ dáwó ẹ fuck off ni mo sọ. Àwọn pẹ́lá kí ni wọ́n ṣe tán fún wọn lówó tán support wọn. Ẹ ṣọ́ra yín jàre kẹ́ get out. Ẹ̀yin máa lè. Má bá gbogbo yín jà. Ẹ̀yin dẹ̀ kọ́ lọ mú wá sí UK. Ní tó bá wù Ìgbòho ni kó ṣe. Ẹ ṣe èrè gbogbo yín. Kí nìkan tó dé tó yẹn. Ẹ fuck off kẹ́kẹ́ kó jágbajàgba lọ. Àbẹ́ ń ṣe èrè. Èlò lẹ dá fún wa. Ẹ fún mi ní 5,000. Ìyá wa kan wà tó fún mi ní $10,000 tó ti pariwo títí dọ̀la. Ìyá mi lè jádù. Àbẹ́ ń ṣe èrè ni owó èlò lẹ máa sọ pé Ìgbòho ṣe kíní kan. Ẹ ṣe jẹ́jẹ́ o gbogbo ẹ̀yin òṣì tẹ wà lórí labroad tẹ wà ní Dublin tẹ wà ní UK tẹ wà ní America bí kò fi dá fún gbogbo yín ní ṣe èrè ni. Kò fi dá fún gbogbo yín ni. Mo gbọ́ lọ́wọ́ yín ni. Ibi tí mo ń ṣe lẹ dúpẹ́ fún tí ẹ bá dẹ̀ ní like tí gbogbo ẹ block channel mi kẹ fuck off kúrò channel mi. Ẹ gbọ́n sókè bàbá mi Emmanuel lè dá fún gbogbo yín. Ẹ ṣe mo ti wọ̀ wọlé a ṣe wèrè fún gbogbo yín.
Ẹ ṣe sùúrù bàbá Koiki.
Kí la gbé kí la jù. Èmi nìkan lọ́mọ Yorùbá ni. Tó bá pa mí sínú ilé Ìgbòho níjọ́ yẹn kí lẹ máa ṣe sí. Kò ní dá fún gbogbo yín. Ẹ gbọ́n sókè kí tó tún gbé kọ́ọ̀lù mi.
Sùúrù la máa fi ṣe.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Nǹkan tẹ́mi kan understand ni pé ká tó lè débi tá à ń lọ àwa Yorùbá a gbọ́dọ̀ wà united. Torí kò sí ilé tó wà ní ìkùnsínú tó padà wá pẹ̀lú ìborí àdúrà lọ́yìn sọ.
Ẹ ṣe jàre èèyàn mi, ẹ ṣe gan mo ti calm down. Ẹ jẹ́ mú mi kí n calm down. Alájà gan ni inú wa máa bí wọn pé akíni mo tó wá ń ṣe lálẹ́ ìbá àbí lọ́sàn-án yìí. Wọ́n gbọ́ ń jàre má bínú.
Sùúrù lèmi kàn máa sọ fún yín pé kẹ́ ṣe. Ẹ má bínú lórí afẹ́fẹ́. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni. Tó bá bínú ó máa sọ àwọn nǹkan míì tí wọ́n kò lè sọ. Jẹ́ kí wọ́n máa sọ nǹkan tó ń sọ. Àdúrà tèmi ti ń gbà tẹ́lẹ̀ látẹ̀yìnwá ni pé kí gbogbo wa wà papọ̀. Àti tí sábà wà united, our goal will be easily achieved. But they are not.
Bàbá Adébánjọ kan sọ, ó náà yẹn máa ṣe Yorùbá nation lọ ká máa ṣe restructure lọ gbogbo àjọ pàdé lókè.
So ẹ má fetí sí nǹkan tó ń sọ ibi táwọn ń lọ ní ká kọjú sí.
Oye ẹ ṣé gan ni, thank you so much. Mo dúpẹ́ lágbára Ọlọ́run àníbára wa jà ẹ ṣé gan ni, thank you so much. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí ká tún gba kọ́ọ̀ bí méjì mẹ́ta sí ká tó máa tẹ̀síwájú. Ẹ gbóhùn sókè straight up to the point. Ẹ bá wa mute background ẹ ti wọlé ẹ lọ straight to the point. Ẹ ti wọlé láti Dallas. Ẹ má bínú èèyàn wa wọ́n bọ̀ wá ṣe broadband mi láìpẹ́ gbogbo àwọn máa gbádùn program ó kújọ́ mélòó kan. Ẹ ló kọ́lá ẹ gbóhùn sókè sẹ́ẹ̀. Kódà kọ́ọ̀lù yẹn lọ́mọ sọ ká tún gbé kọ́ọ̀lù mi. Ẹ ló kọ́lá ìgbóhùn sókè sẹ́ẹ̀ à ń gbọ́ yẹn gbóhùn sókè.
Koiki bàbá.
Ẹ má tẹ̀ kí mi rárá ẹ ṣáà gbóhùn sókè jàre ìfẹ́ kí nǹkan kí mi.
Ẹ má bínú. Now, two things. Number one, ọ̀rọ̀ Sahara reporter àti Sowore. Bọ̀bọ̀ yẹn mọ nǹkan tó ń ṣe ó dẹ̀ ń ṣe bísínẹ́sì tiẹ̀ ni. Mo ti ń tà láti béèrè mission gangan ti pẹ́. Oní kìnìkan we must be together. Wọ́n fẹ́ ṣe president ẹ fẹ́ ṣe revolution. Báwo ni ẹ ṣe fẹ́ ṣe revolution? Ṣé àwọn ọmọ pé tó bá ṣe revolution gan ó máa lead to Nigeria's breakup ni? Ó dẹ̀ tún fẹ́ ṣe president at the same time. Ó kẹ́ nígbà kan bí oní they need to bring all the leaders kan ṣe kìnìkan fún gbogbo wọn kí gbogbo wọn fẹ́ ṣe the guy is confused law so he doesn't know what he's doing. Then concerning Igboho, you understand? Èmi fẹ́ béèrè question kan, so what could they have expected Igboho to do? Ẹ mú Igboho, ẹ fi ń rúgbó, so kó máa jìyà ní overseas, kó má lè lọ sílé, kó má lè wà pẹ̀lú family ẹ̀, àbí? meanwhile gbogbo àwọn ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ majority tá a sọ pé àjọ ń ṣe Yorùbá nation náà gan tó já àwọn gbòógì náà gan lẹ́yìn náà wọ́n tún ṣe ìṣiṣẹ́ pẹ̀lú àwọn politician. So what are we doing? So kí gbogbo máa rúgbó lọ kó máa sọ́fà lọ kẹ́ máa ní Yorùbá nation. Aláàsì irọ́ náà lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ pa yìí kẹ́ ẹ tún ṣiṣẹ́ lẹ́yìn pẹ̀lú àwọn politician. You don't know what you are doing. Mo ti sọ gbogbo àwọn youth náà bá rẹ́dì láti gbára wọn bá rẹ́dì Yorùbá nation. Wọ́n á fọ́ síta wọ́n kálukú wọ́n á jà fúnra wọn. Igboho is just a catalyst. So when the time comes, everybody will stand up and fight for themselves. So come out Igboho rúgbó. Say you understand? Èèyàn ló bí òun náà ní family. Come out rúgbó. Everybody is doing fine. They are making meeting behind behind the scene. Wọ́n ṣe meeting pẹ̀lú politicians. Wọ́n gba contract wọ́n ṣe ọgbẹ́. So kó máa sọ káàkiri àtẹ̀jọ́ pariwo Yorùbá nation. Àwọn àtàwọn akáàkiri. Tọ́ bá rẹ́dì, àwọn youth yẹn tọ́ bá rẹ́dì wọ́n á jáde. Wọ́n á jà fúnra wọn.
Ẹ ṣé gan ni. Kọ́là tó ń wà lórí ẹ bá mute ọ̀dọ̀ yín ẹ mute mọ́lẹ̀ mo ti gbé 835 ẹ mute mọ́lẹ̀ mo ń gbọ́ sound ara mi ẹ mute mọ́lẹ̀ 835 ẹ̀yin ni mo ń bá sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ bá ẹ mute tẹ fi ń gbọ́ lórí TV fún ọmọ akọ́tẹ ẹ mute tọ̀dọ̀ yín lọ́hùn mo ń bọ̀ ẹ mute tọ̀dọ̀ yín sẹ́ mo ti ń gbọ́ yín ẹ lè máa gbọ́ méjì ẹ̀yin lẹ́ ń pè ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ẹ mọ̀ mo ń bọ̀ Kọ́là ẹni sùúrù fún mi ní 1 minute èmi àti Sowore ni ẹni sùúrù sà ẹni sùúrù ẹ fún mi ní 1 minute sà èmi àti Omoyele Sowore ni mo tí mo lóye Igboho nígbà tí mo ra ticket tí Sowore ń fẹ́ ṣe convention ẹ̀ tí mo lọ sí Nàìjíríà Sowore ṣe sùúrù gidi gan ó fẹ́ ká kó document jáde ni ṣé wọ́n ló sanwó fún mi tí mo fi wá sí Nàìjíríà òun lélẹ́yìn náà evidence tèmi lélẹ́yìn máa fi sórí social media ní sìkẹ́ lọ́rí èmi àti lélẹ́yìn náà nígbà tó fẹ́ ṣe convention mo wá Nàìjíríà náà bó ti gbàgbé ni o mọ ẹni tó ń sọ̀rọ̀ ni Koiki ló ń sọ̀rọ̀ evidence ni manager mi ṣe lọ bá mu jáde ni evidence lélẹ̀ tí ó ṣe sùúrù àìdẹ̀ tí mo gbowó níbí báyìí this was 2018 October 6 2018 òun ni picture tẹ̀ ń wò yìí èmi àti Sowore 2018 ẹ wá wo 2018 sísìn gbàlá bẹ̀rẹ̀ Yorùbá nation bẹ̀rẹ̀ until 2019 December ẹ bá ń gbóhùn sókè ẹni tó ń pè wá nǹkan adé máa sọ jágbàjàgbà.
Hello, Koiki.
Mo gbọ́ yín sà.
Ẹ pẹ̀lẹ́ sà, ẹ bá bínú. Ṣé ti gbọ́?
Àgbọ́yé sà, àgbọ́yé.
Tó bá jẹ́ pé kiri ṣe rí nǹkan tó máa dà kò lè ṣe kó má rí bẹ́yẹn. But nípa kí ọ̀rọ̀ ọmọ.
Mo kí ẹ yágbóyájú ọ̀gá mi pátápátá. Mo ń gbọ́ yín sà.
Ó ti yẹ kẹ́ ẹ mọ̀ pé ó ti pẹ́ tó jẹ́ pé ó ti ní.
Ọjọ́ kíkọ́ ni ọ̀rẹ́ kan ṣe tán kẹ́ tó sọ̀rọ̀ Mr. Adams ẹ̀kọ́ hold on síbẹ̀. Àgbọ́yé sà.
Torí ó ti ń sọ pé kò Yorùbá pé ìbàjẹ́ lòun ẹlẹ́kan lòun ti wá.
Ok.
Ẹ jẹ́ mọ̀ pé tó bá jẹ́ pé Yorùbá ni ẹ máa rí ẹ̀jẹ̀ Yorùbá lára ẹ̀. Tẹ́ bá rí Sunday Igboho ẹ máa mọ̀ pé real blood Yorùbá ni.
Àgbọ́yé.
Kò dàbí àwọn ọmọ àlè.
Ok.
tí Omoyele tó wù rẹ̀ tó bá jẹ́ pé kì í ṣe ọmọ àlè kò tí ẹ ṣe anybody tó yẹ kó fọ́ọ̀tì Sunday Igboho anybody tó bá fọ́ọ̀tì Sunday Igboho ó jẹ́ ọmọ àlè Yorùbá ni gbogbo iṣẹ́ tẹ̀lé ń ṣe pẹ̀lú Sunday Igboho Ọlọ́run ọba ló máa fi ilé ẹ̀sán.
Àmín àmín ẹ ṣé gan ni dáàdì ẹ ṣé gan ni sà.
ìjọba wọlé ara Omoyele yẹn kẹ́ ẹ fi sílẹ̀ lẹ́mẹ̀sì sì ń bọ̀ àwọn akọ́tọ̀ yìí ẹgbọ́n kan tí mo sọ torí pé ó sì rò pé òun jẹ́ lọ ní àwọn alálẹ̀ wọ́n ti padà lẹ́yìn ẹ̀.
Àdúró tiẹ̀ náà.
Tálálẹ̀ bá dẹ̀ ti padà lẹ́yìn àwọn
èèyàn. Mọ̀kẹ́ must be.
bó ṣe á máa ṣiṣẹ́
ẹ ṣé gan ni sà.
ewúrẹ́ ṣe tó fi
gun
ìyá ìlórí
ló máa ṣe títí. Ẹ ṣé gan ni dáàdì torí àsìkò mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín mo dúpẹ́ a máa rí gbogbo yín bá ẹ ṣé gan ni ẹ ṣé gan ni àtẹ ìbínú mo ti mọ mi sí so kò tẹ̀ sí ìbínú mọ́ àtẹ sọ̀rọ̀ òdì sí mọ́ àyíká tí mo ti sọ náà ni ẹ ṣé gan ni ẹ ṣé gan ni dáàdì so mo kí gbogbo èèyàn wa gbogbo èyí tẹ̀ ń gbọ́ mi Mr. Adams ti wà lórí call Sowore ṣe dẹ́ẹ̀dẹ̀ o sanwó fún mi nígbà tí mo wá sí Nàìjíríà ní 2018 ó mọ tí mo ra tíkẹ́ẹ̀tì ni àbò fún mi lówó ìbí wọn ń gbowó lọ́wọ́ foundation ó ṣe sanwó fèmí gbà yẹn gbogbo ẹni sùúrù tíyàn bá lọ báyàn ṣe convention as a media ó yẹ kó sanwó sápò ẹ̀ náà bóyá ìwọ náà gba 20,000 ṣó fún mi lówó ni ó fún mi lówó náà a ṣe pẹ̀lú ìfẹ́ ni àwa ṣe pé torí ó pe lọ́mọ Yorùbá adẹ̀ ó pé àwọn ọ̀dẹ̀ náà option kankan gbà yẹn pé nǹkan báyìí la fẹ́ nǹkan báyìí la fẹ́ ó yá ìwọ náà ló fẹ́ jáde adẹ̀ support ẹ Àwí tán ní sọ̀n ṣe jágbajàgba. Mo kí ẹ yágbóyájú. Gbóhùn sókè Mr. Adams. Ẹ ṣé wo ẹ̀yin yan atẹ́ kí ni.
Ẹ káàárọ̀ Mr. Koiki.
Ẹ káàbọ̀.
Abínibí yàtọ̀ sábílítì. Ẹni tá a fi wọ́n yàtọ̀ fẹ́ni tó fi wọ́n rà. Wọ́n mọ̀ pé tí wọ́n bá lórúkọ òkúrú wọn ò yẹ wa. Àwọn tó gbọ́ ẹ ti tán ni. Tó wá ń wá ògo tuntun tó tún fẹ́ fi gbéra ni. Mo tẹ̀mí ká wọn kún ni. Just a conflict like ẹni tó kàn wà confused nínú àjọ ayé ẹ̀. You are running a báwo ni ẹ yẹn sọ nǹkan tó ń gbé kiri láti jọ ìyá ṣe group àbí tẹ̀kọ́ kọ́ àyín kiri tí ní àṣeyọrí kan ṣoṣo bẹ́ẹ̀ ni sọ. Must you mention this man name? Must you mention this man name? Gbogbo àwọn tó ń ládìí wọn tẹ́ ń tó kiri láti jọ yìí you just want someone to just tó àkàrà attack tó kọ́ àtúndì jáde padà. I'm not saying Sowore as ní lọ́dọ̀ tèmi mi rí Sowore as báwo mo ti fẹ́ pè bẹ́ẹ̀ tó yẹ kéèyàn fún léṣọ́ o.
Táwa fún léṣọ́ àánú oúnjẹ lọ ni a gbọ́dọ̀ fún léṣọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ ṣọ́ra àwọn kan náà ti bá ṣe náà so kò lè sọ fún wa pé a sọ̀pọ̀tẹ̀ o jáde a sọ̀pọ̀tẹ̀ a fún ẹ ní gbogbo sáfíìsì tó yẹ kó gbà so kí ló wá le tó yẹn àdẹ̀gbowó lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ ó dẹ̀ lè sọ pé ó fún mi lówó gbogbo ẹnu mo fi sọ lórí social media ó lè sọ pé ó san £1 fún mi àbí fún mi ní náírà ní gbogbo time tó náà ń ṣe é ṣe ẹ tó ń ṣe é ṣe take it back a dẹ̀ lọ as a movement fún ẹ pé media táwa náà support ẹ ló ń ṣe ó jágbajàgba lọ́jà rí.
kò mọ̀ kan tó ń ṣe tó ṣe jọ́ọ̀bù síbi kan tó ń jọ́ọ̀bù síbi kan tó ń jọ́ọ̀bù.
ó fi ṣe president ó fi ṣe revolution ó mọ̀ ní tó fẹ́ ní méjèèjì.
Àwọn tó kàn ń tẹ̀lé ni mo kàn pìtì fún because.
Àwọn ẹ̀yà tó kù tó ń tẹ̀lé yẹn náà ni àwọn èèyàn dẹ̀mọ́ tó fẹ́ wọ́n fẹ́ Biafra wọ́n tó fẹ́ Nàìjíríà. So.
Ó ti ṣe kínní for over many years what did you achieve? Kò kà máa jọ́ọ̀bù sí ni kò jọ́ọ̀bù sí bílẹ̀ ni what are you doing kí ni nǹkan tó fẹ́ fẹ́ ayé ẹ̀ ṣe gan.
A gbọ́dọ̀ dá lóhùn.
Nonsense man
ni ẹ ṣọ́jàre nonsense man thank you so much. So mo kẹ́yìn yan wa ká má fagùn so iṣẹ́ pọ̀ tí mo fi lọ ṣe so kí n gba kọ́ọ̀lù bíi méjì mẹ́ta sí so Sowore mo ti lọ bẹ́ẹ̀ fi sórí Twitter ilé òun ṣọ̀rọ̀ distraction mo gbọ́dọ̀ fún lésì kó lè bá mọ̀ pé àwọn ò ní rí message ká má dẹ̀ lóhùn mo dẹ̀ ti sọ fún ẹ lọ ṣe jẹ́jẹ́ kó bó ṣe ń ṣe lọ jàre ó yẹ bá gbóhùn sókè ká bá ti gba kọ́ọ̀ méjì tó kú ká máa lọ ṣẹ́pọ̀ ibi tẹ̀ tí ń pa mí kí lọ jẹun jàre mo kí ń jàre.
ẹ káàsán ṣe mo ṣọ̀gbẹ́ máa mẹ́ni tó ń sọ̀rọ̀.
mo jẹ́ mẹ́ni sọ̀rọ̀ Mr. Adéwálé ló ń sọ̀rọ̀
Mr. Gbenga ló ń sọ̀rọ̀
nọ́mbà yín wà lọ́wọ́ mi náà.
bẹ́ẹ̀ni ẹ wò mo yìnyín gan-an ṣe rí ọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá ní sọ̀rọ̀ pé pé àwa náà.
ẹ má wọlé gbogbo anytime train journey ni a máa bọ́ọ̀lù a máa wọlé irú àwọn ò lè bọ́ọ̀lù ká wọlé ni.
In fact ó affect relationship wa iṣẹ́ gbogbo nǹkan family ló affect àwọn Yorùbá wọn mọ orí ìṣòro ta nínú ìyá àmọ́ orí tọ́fẹ́ kí Igboho kú ni kí ló dé kí ló ṣe gan tọ́fẹ́ pa ni kí ló dé
Yàmí Fátókì ọwọ́ mi lè.
gbogbo àtẹ jókòó sílé àlọ́ ń wo Netflix à ń wo Nollywood
àbáyàwó wa sùn ọdún méjì ni Igboho fi wà níbi tó wà tó rí yàwó ẹ̀ ṣe kankan sí.
ẹ wo nǹkan tó ṣe fún máyẹ ó dìde lọ sùn gbogbo ẹ kàn gba àwọn gbogbo àkáǹtì ẹ lọ gbẹ́sẹ̀ lé wọ́n tún jí gbogbo ẹrù inú ilé ẹ̀kọ́ ẹ̀ẹ́dẹ̀ fi lọ́rùn lẹ́sẹ̀ fẹ́ pa ni òun nìkan lọ́mọ Yorùbá ní gbogbo ẹ̀ ṣe jáde.
kò dáa rárá.
ṣèbébi náà gbà táwa náà ṣe débi àwa táà tiẹ̀ tún ṣe débi táwọn olóyè ṣe dé ẹ̀yin gan mo yìnyín títí dàrẹ́ ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá ní àwa táà ṣe débẹ̀ gan ẹ̀mí wa gan fẹ́ bọ́ sórí ẹ̀ á sì kì sí di Yorùbá nation ni family fẹ́ break up iṣẹ́ bàjẹ́ gbogbo everything.
iṣẹ́ kékeré
ṣáwa nìkan lọ́mọ Yorùbá ni.
ṣáwa nìkan ni nínú 60 million
kí ló dé tí Igboho bá lóhun ṣe inú ẹ jáde ṣé Mandela gan ló gba South Africa fún South Africa jẹ báwọn South Africa ló jà fúnra wọn tó fi gbára wọn ṣèbẹ́wọ̀n ni Mandela wà títí tó fi gba nǹkan tó fẹ́ gbà. wẹ́ẹ̀ táwa ò ṣe jáde ó ti jẹ́ pé èèyàn kan là ń pariwo kan wo máyégún pé what's wrong with this guy.
ẹ má dá lọ ẹ jẹ́ kó máa kí
èèyàn
bèbí
kan ló
ajá.
máa ń gbàlú ni.
ẹ jẹ́ kó máa kí bèbí ajá.
ṣé èèyàn kan ló máa gbàlú fún yín ni.
ẹ jẹ́ kó máa kí bèbí ajá.
ẹ wo ẹ máa ń ṣe ẹ máa ń lis ten fáwọn èèyàn ọ̀rọ̀ àwọn èèyàn ti ṣú wa ok ẹ wo wọ́n ṣe ń dalẹ̀ wa lóṣìn the only person ok ẹ lọ bẹ ẹlòmíì sí option wọn lẹ ní wọn ò ní solution no not even one solution báyìí.
àwọn tó tẹ̀fẹ́ dìde gan wọ́n need another person tó lè front ẹ̀ kò ń ṣe pé àwọn tó lè dìde fún security yẹn but tí Igboho bá jáde tán nísìnyí wọ́n á tẹ̀lé lẹ́yìn àwọn kan fẹ́ ṣe Yorùbá nation bọ̀ lórí security yẹn wọ́n á tẹ̀lé Igboho wọ́n á tẹ̀lé bọ́ọ̀tù ẹ̀fẹ́ Yorùbá nation lórí ọ̀rọ̀ security wọ́n á tẹ̀lé Igboho. àdèmà wí táwọn kan máa kọ ẹ̀ máa kọ òyìnbó ṣe fẹ́ ká ok ṣé Tinubu kọ́ la máa bá ṣe tá a máa fi gba security ṣé Àtíkù la máa lọ bá sọ̀rọ̀ Trump àti Iran wọ́n sì ń sọ̀rọ̀ àbí ṣèbí abroad lẹ́yìn wá ẹ̀gbọ́n mi Trump àti Iran wọ́n sì jọ ń sọ̀rọ̀ Iran náà wọ́n fẹ́ nǹkan tó fẹ́ Trump ní irọ́ wọ́n sì ń sọ̀rọ̀ in as much as wọ́n ti destroy Iran bí wèrè tó ń ṣe kékeré wọ́n ti destroy gbogbo ẹ̀ but Iran sì sọ pé òun ò fẹ́ sọ.
ibi tí mo ń lọ gangan ibi tí mo ṣe ń lọ gangan náà ni kò síbẹ̀ ṣe lè jà tó ẹ sì tún máa jókòó.
ẹ má padà sórí round table.
àwọn olófẹ́ represent ìtẹ̀jọ́ tó fẹ́ jókòó parí ẹ̀. àwọn
olófẹ́ jókòó
tẹ̀jọ́ fẹ́ parí ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn fáwọn representative náà kọ́ ni. ẹ dárúkọ ìlú kan tó gba òmìnira tó ń ṣe àwọn representative àwọn political representative wọn ló gbà fún wọn. kí ló ń ṣàwọn èèyàn wa náà gbogbo ọdún lẹ́yìn lẹ́nu yìí wọn ò lè kúrò nù yàrá wọn. ẹ wò bàtà tí ń pariwo mẹ́gàrálì.
ẹlòmíì mo rí rí kó jáde wọ́n jáde ní gbogbo táyà tá a fi ń pariwo gan ní àbúrò. ẹ jẹ́ ká máa wòran mi sáré gbẹ̀ngà ẹ jẹ́ ká máa wòran.
ẹkùn afẹ́ kí máa yẹ fún wọn kókó ara rẹ̀ káàkiri bó tẹ̀ ní láàrin lágbára ọlọ́run.
láṣẹ Èdùmàrè láṣẹ Èdùmàrè.
olóyìn sọ dignity tèmi àsọmọ Yorùbá o ìgbà tó jáde yẹn tán báyìí èmi gan mú mọ̀ kọ́mọ Yorùbá ni mí ó boost confidence wa.
bẹ́ẹ̀ni àṣà láwọn oríṣiríṣi àwọn tó ń kọrin wà bẹ́ẹ̀ nísìnyí wọ́n wá London gbogbo yín máa lọ síbẹ̀ máa lọ jó àṣà àṣírí ká má dárúkọ tá bá wá London ẹ máa lọ jó gbogbo àwọn olórin lọ́n wá London lẹ́ máa lọ jó àwa dẹ̀ ń ṣe nǹkan míì so àbí kí la máa ṣe sí.
bẹ́ẹ̀ni ó wà ń bẹ pàtí nìkan láàmú àmàlà àbúlà ká ṣe pàtí àtọ́bí ká má ṣe pàtí bọ̀ ẹ̀kọ́ tó ń kan ọ̀rọ̀ lélẹ́yìí ẹ jẹ́ ká dá sí wọn ò ní dá sí.
bẹ́ẹ̀ni
tó bá yàrá náà ó ti tẹ̀lé olóṣèlú ó ti ṣe kíní kí lẹ́yìn ṣe olóṣèlú kí ipa wo ló ti kó lọ́rọ̀
ìyẹn ní kọ́ máa wá káàkiri má dá wèrè yẹn lóhùn ọpẹ́ ní ti gbọ́n wèrè dànù ọmọ àlè.
ìbánisọ̀ yẹn ni best option bọ̀ ẹ̀ lè rí gbà máa ń gbà. ṣé ọ̀rọ̀ tó ń sọ ẹ̀gbọ́n ṣó make sense òun ni best option bọ̀ wà lè rí gbà.
òun ni best option lè rí gbà
ọ̀dọ̀ ọ̀la máa fi gbà. I don't understand àwa Yorùbá ó sùn mí òun sọ fún ìwọ tó ń sọ̀rọ̀ tó bá tí wọ́n sì gbóhùn ní best option ìwọ join eléyìí join tí wọ́n bá máa join a máa gbà.
ọ̀fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ jàre ọ̀fẹ́ káwa lọ forí gbakú yẹn káwa máa àdé forí gbakú fẹ́ ní bọ́dì pé yẹn kọ́ máa forí gbakú fẹ́ ní bọ́dì rọ̀lẹ́ pa gbogbo wa lájọ máa ṣe táàbàdẹ̀ tí rẹ̀ dé àrẹ́dì náà nìyẹn pé yẹn kọ́ máa lọ forí gbakú irọ́ la pa. èyí kan fi máa lọ máa ẹ mọ how many years láàfin lè wọ Nàìjíríà for many years èyí kan máa lọ Nàìjíríà ẹ ti lọ Nàìjíríà ti dé firi ẹ ya picture ẹ lọ jẹ chicken ẹ má dáhùn lóhùn brother mi. ẹ má dáhùn lóhùn.
mo sọ fún yín àní fámìlì mi ó dàrú tán.
èmi lẹ sọ mọ́
mo nearly drop out kúrò ní yunifásitì lórí ọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá nation yìí ni.
àdúrà wa gbà jáde ẹgbẹ́ mi ẹni tó dánwó gan ó ń sọ jágbàjàgbà ní sí. ẹ má dáhùn lóhùn. ẹ má dáhùn lóhùn. àwọn tó tẹ̀ náà kan tó ń ṣàdúrà gan wọ̀ tí complain. a ní o tó ti tẹ̀lé olóṣèlú kò ní bàjẹ́ fún ìjà rí brother Adéwálé one love ẹ̀yin máa lọ́lé ẹ jẹ chicken ẹ show video yín lórí social media for many years àwọn ò lọ́lé èyí mú lọ́lé náà gbogbo ilẹ̀ ní project nílé tó ra wájọ ń ṣe Yorùbá nation wọn kọ́ ẹ fẹ́ káwọn àgbákú ti yín ìrọ̀lẹ́ pa ìyẹn kọ́kọ́ gbákú anybody ẹ bá fi kú mi kó lọ kú dànù bẹ́ẹ̀ ni èyí lẹ́ máa gbákú ara yín kò ní bàjẹ́ fún ẹ. alàgbà tó ń pè project oní l'Abuja kó tó sáwá London kò ń ṣe kékeré kò ń ṣọ̀rọ̀ 10 million naira tó sáwá sí Nàìjíríà tó wá sí UK nígbà tí gbogbo ọ̀rọ̀ Fúlàní fi bà wọ́n jẹ́ yàgbó yájú tẹ́ ń wò yẹn tech burúkú ni wọ́n ò jẹ́ kórìí kankan ṣe l'Abuja Tinubu dẹ̀ wà níbẹ̀ nísìnyí tó bá sì lè máa fún wọn lẹ́pọ̀n kó fáwọn lẹ́pọ̀n kò mí pé torí pé Tinubu wà níbẹ̀ a lè máa rí nǹkan míì tó ń ṣe ká máa mójú kúrò a kò mójú kúrò nítorí àwọn kan tá a gbé dání ni ṣé kí Fúlàní pamọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ ni kí ṣe tí máa wá di president orí gbogbo yín ò pé gbóhùn sókè jàre brọ́dà mi.
10 million okay. It's over 30 million.
Ṣé ń gbọ́?
Àdì ṣe ń gbà yẹn. Àwọn
tó kà wọ́n.
Wọ́n kí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá white lion mo kí ẹ kú iṣẹ́.
Thank you so much.
Nǹkan tí ẹ̀ tó kọ̀ náà Sowore ni pé Sowore ti tán. So kò dẹ̀ mọ̀nà tó fẹ́ gbà bí kan.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Gbogbo àwọn tó gbójúlé náà tó jẹ́ àwọn Ìgbò tó kó mọ́ra.
Ẹ ṣé gan ni ìyá mi fún mi láyọ̀ mo kí n mà.
Left and right. And center. So nǹkan tí ẹ̀ tó kọ̀ rí bẹ́ẹ̀ ni pé ẹ fi Sowore sílẹ̀. Ó dá bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe dáná.
Àtẹ̀nídà ló mọ̀ lẹ́yìn ilé ẹ̀mọ̀ kí n bí n bá ti dáhùn ló bá dáhùn ló mọ̀ nílá ló mọ̀. Ẹ ṣé gan ni.
Ẹjọ́ ilé yìí kọ̀ọ̀kan fẹ́ bá àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá sọ̀rọ̀.
Ó ń gbọ́.
Lórí ilé yìí. Tí ìbájẹ́ wà sí i, téèyàn bá ń travel tó ń drive lọ, ó dẹ̀ wọ mọ́tò ẹ lórí mi. Tó bá ṣe mistake, traffic ibi tó ń lọ yẹn, ọ̀nà tó gbà ó máa ń ṣẹlẹ̀ dáadáa. Tó jẹ́ pé kò gba ibẹ̀, ibi tó gbà yẹn ó gba wrong ọ̀nà ló gbà. Ìgbà tó dé àárín kan, ó dàrú mọ́ lójú, àti pé ó réyàn tètè dá dúró pé dírẹ́bà.
Má gba bẹ̀ yẹn o. Má gba bẹ̀ yẹn o. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Ó rọ̀gbọ̀.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Ó máa já síbi tẹ̀ ń lọ o, but ó máa jìnnà. Ó bẹ́tà kẹ́ ẹ tètè tọ́ọ̀nù padà.
Ó dà.
Kò sí nǹkan tí dírẹ́bà yẹn máa ṣe náà ju pé á padà.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Á ṣe kí ni á lọ padà gba ibi tó yẹ kó gbà yẹn. Bọ́rọ̀ Yorùbá nation ṣe rí nìyẹn.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Olóyè Májàsọ́lá ó rìnrìn àjò yẹn lóòótọ́ àti gbogbo wàtàjọ́ rìn. Ṣùgbọ́n at some point ó dàbẹ̀ pé ọ̀nà yẹn ó máa padà já síbẹ̀. Ó máa.
Ẹ ṣé gan ni ìyá mi àwọn ní mo kí n mọ́ náà.
Tí olóyè bá wá sọ pé ọ̀nà tá a fẹ́ gbà lélẹ̀ ká bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti fi security kí òun kó sì kankan tó rọ̀ níbẹ̀.
Ìyẹn rọ́ǹgì fáwọn tó wà òkè ẹ̀mọ̀ fáwọn kan wà òkè especially àwọn diaspora tó máa sáré fi passport wọn lọ Nàìjíríà tó máa dé ó wà òkè fáwọn.
Olóyè ojú ọ̀nà ló sì wà. Tí ò bá sábà òkè lẹ́tà tó ń ta lọ́ba Yorùbá nation sí àti security. So kí ló àǹfààní? Security yẹn gangan ni kókó. Gbogbo àwọn àtàdé ń sọ̀rọ̀ pé ọjọ́ olóṣèlú ọjọ́ olóṣèlú. Ẹ má jẹ́ ká máa fi sáìdì ibẹ̀ yẹn wò ó. Ẹ jẹ́ ká gbé ọpọlọ kalẹ̀ káwò pé ìrìn àjò yìí o a ní security. Kò dẹ̀ sí ẹnìkan lónìí. Lóòótọ́ àwọn alágbára tó ju òṣàlọ́ kọ́ wà.
Tọ́pọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ ni.
Wọ́n sì dúró de Ìgbòho tó jáde. Ìgbòho ló dé ọ̀sán náà bí. Èèyàn tí ọlọ́run bá dẹ̀ ti gbé agbára fún kò sí kankan tẹ́. Mo sọ nǹkan gbà kan. Bàbá Tinubu gan mọ̀ pé òun Ìgbòho níbi tọ́rọ̀ dé dúró.
Níbo ló ti rí evidence pé ebi gbogbo ẹ̀yin náà lẹ́ ń fún wa lówó lẹ́ ń support tẹ́ ń kó gbogbo ẹ̀ tá ń donate káàkiri ìwọ wa ní kó fún wa Tinubu ló ń fund wa.
Níbo ni so gbogbo nǹkan tí Sowore kan sọ yẹn they just talking out of sense ni gbogbo nǹkan tó ń ṣe mọ́ rárá mi jẹ́ believe pé ẹ̀jẹ̀ Yorùbá wà lára ẹ̀. Ṣùgbọ́n sọ pé o fẹ́ máa lo àwọn Ìgbò àgẹ́sì wa.
Mo kí bàbá mi Kẹ́hìndé Sálámì.
Mo lè fẹ́ fi kíní kan sọ mo fẹ́ sọ kíní kan lónìí. A máa dé ibi tá à ń lọ ojú ló ń kọ́gbò ní gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìgbòho òun bọ̀
bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ọmọ Yorùbá.
Kẹ́ tó lọ bàbá mi ṣe mọ̀ pé àwọn tó lọ sí moon àwọn astronaut tó lọ sí moon for 40 minutes ni kò sí communication pẹ̀lú wọn àtayé ẹ gbọ́ mi yé for 40 minutes kò sí communication láàárín àwọn astronaut mẹ́rin tó lọ sí moon yẹn tí kò dẹ̀ tí sẹ́dá kankan bí adnisin tó ti dùn lọ́bẹ̀ àwọn nìkan lọ́sí lọ àwọn nìkan lọ́mọ bí ẹ̀yìn moon ṣe rí but for 40 minutes they were in darkness kò sí communication pẹ̀lú àwọn àti bíbá ẹ̀ so ẹ má jẹ́ ká má sọ pé kíní kan possible àwọn tó lọ tẹ́lẹ̀ ó yàtọ̀ sáwọn ilé tó lọ nísìn àwọn tó lọ nísìn nǹkan tó rí nísìn àwọn tó ti lọ tẹ́lẹ̀ ìwọ rí ẹ gbẹjàgbẹjàgbà lọjà rí ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ẹ dákọ fún mi.
tó Ìgbòho lọmọ bí ní àjò yẹn ti rí bàbá yẹn ló wà nílẹ̀ olówó bó ṣe rí so ẹ jẹ́ ká fi bàbá yẹn lẹ̀ ká lè support wa ló ní ìdíwọ́.
bọ́ọ̀ tẹ support ẹ̀ kọ́ fi sílẹ̀ lọ́rùn problem tí wọ́n nìyẹn àwa tá máa support a máa support ẹni tó bá fi support tó support. ọ̀rọ̀ Nàìjíríà dẹ́ pé ó ti di gẹ́gẹ́ báyìí bí Tinubu bá ṣe tán gan ṣe problem ni tó bá tá a bá rí solution sọ̀rọ̀ tó wà nílẹ̀ problem ni because tí power bá ti padà sí north gbogbo tí gbogbo àjọ ń sọ ìkọ́ la máa sọ náà ẹ máa wá Ìgbòho káàkiri gbà yẹn gan Ìgbòho lẹ máa wá káàkiri.
ṣẹfẹ ìdílé èkó padà ní ṣẹfẹ ìdílé èkó ẹsìn lọ sẹkó padà ní ọmọdé àti ẹdílé èkó mọ ṣẹfẹ ìdílé èkó padà ní.
ní ká ṣe ní tó yẹ ká ṣe ká kúrò ń bẹ̀. ẹni tó bá dẹ̀ fẹ́ bú Tinubu ẹ gbé fóònù tí náà jáde bẹ́ẹ̀ ni náà ní crowd ẹ fi fóònù yìí ṣe program kẹ́ máa bá Tinubu sọ ọ́ bá fẹ́ bá sọ náà ẹ fẹ́ máa fi platform tàwa. Yes, we continue to criticize the policy, the government and everything, but a lè sọ pé kí Fúlàní wá gbáko nílẹ̀ torí àfẹ́ràn Tinubu. Torí kíni? Tí Fúlàní bá wá mu tó san mọ́lẹ̀, so kí làwa máa wá ṣe? Màá jáde, màá pariwo. Ẹ kó jágbájágbá lọ́jà rí. Níbàjẹ́ fún ẹja rí bọ́dà mi, má jẹ́ yẹ lẹ́nu, mo pẹ́ wà lẹ́nu iṣẹ́. Àdúrà wa gbà. Kò níbàjẹ́ fún ẹ, wọ́n lọ. Ó yá, wọ́n dẹ̀ bínú náà ni. Èmi wá ẹ ṣe jàre, èmi gbóyún ni mò ń rí picture yín, èyí máa sáré lọlé, ẹ ya picture, ẹ jẹ Malada, ẹ jẹ Bílídà, ẹ lọ Nàìjíríà. Ta ló ń Nàìjíríà kó máa lọ? Bí ṣe wà báyìí Nàìjíríà ń wù mí lọ. Bí ṣe wà báyìí Nàìjíríà ń wù mí lọ. Ṣèbí torí Ìgbòho àwọn ṣe lọ́lé. Kò ṣe kọ́ lé mi Nàìjíríà náà. Mo commit crime ní Nàìjíríà, but principal mi ò lọ́lé kí ni mo fẹ́ lọ ṣe Nàìjíríà. Ó dẹ̀ ti padà sílé nísìnyí. Ẹ fẹ́ kémi náà wálé. Irọ́ rẹ pa. Ẹ fẹ́ kémi náà nìkan máa wà ní London. Kí n kan máa lọ láàrin Europe nìkan kí n má lọ Nàìjíríà. Nàìjíríà tí kò pín tẹ̀yìn lọ. Ẹ wá ní káwa náà má lè lọ. Sowore náà wà nínú Nàìjíríà náà. Gbogbo wọn wà nínú Nàìjíríà. Ẹ kó jágbàjàgbà lọ́jà rí mú kí gbogbo ń yàrá èèyàn wa. Ṣé máa ká fàágùn ká filẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀. So a tún máa pàdé. Program tá à ń bá lọ lórí persecution of Christian. Mo rí pé àwọn èèyàn wa wò dáadáa. Inú mi dùn. Mo rí pé wò dáadáa. So bí a part 2 ẹ̀ bí a kì í jẹ́ kí internet mi padà because internet yẹn kò jẹ́ ká gbádùn program. Kò jẹ́ ká gbádùn ẹ̀ rárá. Kò jẹ́ ká gbádùn ẹ̀. So bí a kì í farabalẹ̀ èyí ní 7 calm down náà ló kù. So in another couple of more days kò ní pẹ́ mọ́ tí internet yẹn bá dé a lè ṣe program yẹn dáadáa. Mo mọ̀ pé YouTube yẹn ó dúró dáadáa but Facebook àwọn èèyàn gbádùn wa lórí Facebook TikTok wọ́n tẹ̀lé wa wò nínú àwọn èèyàn tẹ̀ wá happy. So àlàáfíà làwọn ọmọ wà àlàáfíà ni èmi náà wà àlàáfíà ni gbogbo wa wà gbogbo yín tẹ́ gbọ́ mi ẹ kúkú ti mọ̀ mí pé ìyá mi ti ní má búyàn má ṣe pé tèmi ẹ jẹ́ ká kọ̀ gbà bẹ́ẹ̀ ẹ bá wa sọ fún Sowore kó keep ẹnu ẹ̀ dákẹ́ kó shut up ẹnu ẹ̀ so kíndé kọ̀ àtọmọ Yíbò mú mọ̀ ẹ́ rí ni you and must be ashamed of Igboho àbí Yíbò person you dey craze àbí Yíbò I no be Yíbò àbí Yoruba why you dey cry for my matter why you dey cry for my matter ọmọ Yíbò kí ló ń cry for my matter fún àti Igboho you no be Yoruba why you dey cry for my matter ọmọ àlè kí ló ń why our own matter dey pain una Igbo people. Why our own matter? Why you carry my own problem for your head? I be Biafra. Now me putting Americano for prison. Why you now they talk about Igboho na your father? And your Mali. Why you they cry for our matter? Why? Abi? Why you they put our own matter? You leave your own people where they campaign for Biafra, where they campaign for Peter Obi. You don't know what you now want. Now the same people want Peter Obi. Now the same people want Biafra. Go southeast now. Obi Kubana, they support Tinubu. Chief priest, they support Tinubu. They chop toy. His stomach be like that. Why you can't they come here? They talk about Igboho. Why you don't go your own platform? Why you now they carry our own matter? Igbo people. Why? Igbo people they Lagos now that they make money. You come social media they talk about Igboho. What thing concern you and Igboho? Igboho say make una no trade for Lagos. Say Igboho say make una no trade for Ibadan. Igboho say make una no trade. Orí ẹ ò pé ọmọ Igbo. Orí ẹ kò pé. Àbí kí ló fa wàhálà báyìí? Bàbá mi Kẹ́hìndé Sàlámì ẹgbọ́n sókè mo fẹ́ lọ sóúnjẹ jàre ibi àti pa mi mo fẹ́ lọ jẹyin. Oyè bá a ṣe ní kíákíá ètò nìyẹn. Ọjọ́ kan pẹ̀lú. Ọlọ́run ti bá ń forí àtẹ̀wọ̀n sáfẹ́fẹ́ rẹ̀. Àmín. Aṣẹ́dùmarè.
Lórí ọ̀rọ̀ Sowore lèmi náà lè fi kọ́kọ́ sọ̀rọ̀.
Ẹ̀gbọ́n sókè sá.
Lórí Sowore. Sowore ẹjọ́ jẹ́ ni kò jẹ́ kó gbọ́n.
Ó dáa.
Ó sì tún wá ọgbọ́n
láti kó àwọn dẹ̀dẹ̀rìn mọ́ra látún ti máa gba owó ní ọwọ́ wọn káàkiri.
Kí ló ń dárúkọ Ìgbòho fún kó gbowó náà tàbí ẹ̀fọ̀ ló ń gbowó èmi náà ń gbowó náà kó má dárúkọ Ìgbòho náà kí ló sọ pé Ìgbòho gbowó lọ́wọ́ Tinubu fún ìtì yẹn náà sọ nìyẹn ní the other time náà tó ní Ìgbòho ti wá gbowó lọ́wọ́ Tinubu Sowore náà tuntun ti jáde nísìn kí ló dé kí ni Ìgbòho gan ṣe.
èyí tó fi ń dákọ̀ bàbá Sunday Igboho ni wípé nítorí wípé òun àti Tinubu gan wọn gbá tara wọn àwọn ọmọ Ìgbò lòun dẹ̀ ń ṣiṣẹ́ fún díẹ̀ ó sì ń pèrè lọ́mọ Yorùbá. Sowore ò kí ń sojúlówó ọmọ ọkọ Yorùbá náà àní tí Nàìjíríà bá pín tán irú gbogbo àwọn Sowore yẹn wọn sí lára wa ìran Yorùbá torí èyí tí ń pè ní orílẹ̀-èdè gidi díẹ̀ lé orílẹ̀-èdè gidi èèyàn kò sí bí wọn ṣe ní mọ ojúlówó ọmọ ọkọ ní orílẹ̀-èdè gidi orílẹ̀-èdè wo ló máa jẹ́ orílẹ̀-èdè gidi tí wọn kì í ṣe DNA test kò sí orílẹ̀-èdè tí ò ní identity tí ò ní database orílẹ̀-èdè nìyẹn. So irú ìwé wo ló fẹ́ kà ló fẹ́ sọ pé ọkà tó sọ pé ó ní ọpọlọ ju bàbá Sunday Igboho lọ.
Kò yé wa náà ni.
Ṣé rí ẹni tó bá sọ pé òun kàwé tó wá sọ pé òun ní ọpọlọ ju bàbá Sunday Igboho lọ wà lẹ́ orí ẹni náà ti burú ọdún ọba gbọ́.
ẹ̀wọ̀n pé Sowore ó ti ka PhD
àwọn òyìnbó ọgbọ́dọ̀ ní irú ọmọ bíi bàbá Sunday Igboho yẹn kí wọ́n jẹ́ kí ìyá kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ jẹ́ ọdún ọba gbọ́. ká tó wá ń bèlè wípé tó bá ṣe àwọn ará òrò ya àwọn Fúlàní yìí ní á ní irú ọmọ bíi bàbá Sunday Igboho yẹn ọdún ọba gbọ́ wọ́n máa bọ wọ́n bí òòṣà ni.
Ẹ ṣe gan ni bàbá wa torí àsìkò ní ebi dẹ̀ ti ń pa mí.
Bàbá mi èmi náà wà níbi iṣẹ́ ẹ jẹ́ kí n fi sílẹ̀ ìgbà tẹ́ bá tó fẹ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ tó lọ.
ẹ̀yáṣẹ́ mo kí gbogbo èèyàn wa èèyàn olólùfẹ́ wa káàkiri the last call lélẹ̀ kọ́má ní Koiki mo dẹ̀ pé ògbé kọ́ lẹ́yìn ilé ànílé ìgbà kọ́ kọ̀ọ̀kan mọ́ mo kí gbogbo alẹ́ nǹkan sí èmi ò ní kankan against Sowore torí pé mo ṣiṣẹ́ tó ń ṣe kékeré ni o àwọn tó wà ní UK lè testify so nígbà take it back movement ní 2017 evidence ni ẹ lọ sórí Facebook mi mo ti ju feature síta o mo ra ticket lọ Nàìjíríà lọ bá Sowore lọ bá wọn ṣe convention ẹ̀yin ní the last call wa ẹ wá bá mi ṣe ní kíákíá ká lè lọ jẹun ibi tí ń pa mí díẹ̀ ẹjọ ọyà ìgbóhùn sókè.
ìyá ẹ ra sa ẹ kú iṣẹ́ màmá Koiki ẹdẹkùn ọ̀rọ̀ ti màmá.
níyàn bá ń retí ìyá yẹn lójoojúmọ́ ìrìnà tútù drop ní sí máa tún máa wà lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ kan báyìí ìyá mi ti lọ ìyá ọmọ olóko ìyá ti lọ àdúpẹ́ fọlọ́ ẹgbọ́n sókè.
ẹ wò bó máa ń ṣèyàn nìyẹn kọ́ ló ń ṣàánú Ọlọ́run ṣàánú.
kò tẹ̀ ń ṣègbà tí bá pa mí tí bá fẹ́ lọ sílé ìyá mi báyìí máa sáré lọ jẹ ọbẹ̀ tí bá fẹ́ jẹ ti ìyàwó mi máa sáré lọ jẹ ti ìyá mi gbogbo yẹn ní sì kò sí mọ́ báyìí àfikọ́lọ̀ kó ṣàánú ó yẹ gbọ́n sókè.
Quick one, Sherry Sowore is a confused type, he's a confused human being.
Okay.
So kò mọ bí tí à ń da ọ̀run lásì mọ́.
Okay.
That is Sowore for you.
Okay.
So and then nípa tí ẹ̀yẹn tó bá jáde tó bá sọ dáadáa nípa ti bàbá Ìgbòho ẹ̀tọ́ yín náà ní kẹ́ bá ṣe.
Okay.
So gbogbo wa lè mọ̀ pé nítòótọ́ bàbá Ìgbòho gbà owó because àwọn èèyàn ń believe ẹ̀. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn èèyàn ń believe ẹ̀ Nàìjíríà. So one that number two. Sherry n fẹ́ yànnà náà kankan fún yín.
Okay sir.
Sherry Yorùbá ní Ìbàdàn ló mọ̀ òmọ́ láìpo. So bàbá Ìgbòho ló láìpo fún àwọn èèyàn.
Láìpo Yorùbá yẹn dépò díẹ̀ mo gbọ́ rárá rí láìpo.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni bẹ́ẹ̀ni àwọn tí wọ́n ń ṣe ara wa tí wọ́n ń ṣe ọmọ Yorùbá tí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá kò sẹ́ni tí làákàyè ò pé. Bí àwọn ọmọ tẹ bá bí wọ́n tẹ àti lọ́nà tó fẹ́ pọ̀ ọmọ Yorùbá ni ọmọ tẹ bá bí ẹ máa ní làákàyè tí ọmọ Yorùbá lórí wọn. Àwọn Olódùmarè ló ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀. So àwọn tí wọ́n ń ṣe ara wa tó já sí pé àwọn ọmọ àtọ̀rìnwá ìran wọn ọ̀ ń ṣe àwọn Yorùbá bàbá wọn ìyá wọn ṣe ọmọ Yorùbá àwọn ni kùnà ọ̀rẹ́ yẹn ò ní yé. Bí mo ṣe rí bàbá Ìgbòho yẹn mo gbà tó wọ APC mo ní káàrí ọmọ ọkọ lẹ Yorùbá because kò ń ṣe Fúlàní ló wà lórí ipò náà tí bàbá Ìgbòho bá pe anybody ló pé ó yá ẹ̀pọ̀ pé everybody jókòó pé nǹkan báyìí ló fà á tí mo fi ṣe báyìí ó lákàyè wá yẹ kó sọ fún wa àsọmọ Yorùbá ògidì ọmọ Yorùbá òkè tó bá mo ní tó bá yí pé mi bàbá yẹn màá lọ rán agbádá ńlá màá gbé kinní ẹ̀ síwájú màá gbé sẹ́yìn wà láìtàláì nǹkan tí mo sọ fún ìyàwó mi nìyẹn yes nǹkan tí màá ṣe nìyẹn because ọmọ Yorùbá ló wà ń bẹ̀ afẹ́ akọ̀ nǹkan tó ń ṣe fún àwọn
Yorùbá. No, ẹ jẹ́ bí ní kankan mo dẹ̀ fẹ́ ká wà honest ṣé wọ́n tẹ̀ fẹ́ ká bá Tinubu dialogue because kò ń ṣọ̀rọ̀ negotiation ká tẹ̀ dialogue ká jókòó ṣé sáwọn èèyàn fẹ́ yẹn rárá ni tọ́lá fẹ́ gba Yorùbá nation àgbọ̀rọ̀ dialogue pẹ̀lú government ṣé bó ṣe láti rí nìyẹn ni ṣé bó ṣe ń ṣe nìyẹn ni. ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn yé mi o mo kí ìyá mi comfort ológun jà ẹ ṣe gan ni mo
ẹni tó bá gọ̀
ṣé ìgbọ́rọ̀ tí mo sọ látẹ̀kùn kan tó wọlé o ọmọ yìí ó ti fara ya gan ó dà mọ́ ń gbọ́ yẹn mọ́ ń gbọ́ láìpẹ́ advance wisdom
tó máa fi jáde láyé so ìwọ ọmọgàn yẹn lọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn ẹ̀rín yẹn tó ń ọ̀hún ṣara wa àwọn tó bá dẹ̀ kì í ṣara wa kò sí bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe lè fọ́ọ̀sì wọn kọ́kọ́ jára wa ọ̀ níjà ọmọ àti máa wọ ọmọgàn yẹn ni dáadáa ni màmá tẹ́ bá ti rí kọ́mẹ̀ntì wọn ẹ ti máa mọ̀ pé ilé ìrìnsẹ̀ ọmọ Yorùbá.
ẹni tó ń lọ Nàìjíríà tó ń gbádùn tí mo rí picture yín ẹ wá ń sọ pé Ìgbòho ti betray yín èyí dẹ̀ lọ Nàìjíríà tí mo rí táwọn tó gbóyún gbádùn tẹ ní project èmi gan lọ Nàìjíríà ẹ rò pé màmá ìyàwó mi wà Nàìjíríà àwọn family mi wà Nàìjíríà ẹ̀yin kan tẹ́ ẹ̀ ń wò mí gan mo lè ní ká ọjọ́ apá ṣebí VDM ló ń lọ káàkiri yẹn tó ń ra búrẹ́dì tó ń jẹ lójú títì tó ń gbádùn ayé ẹ̀ tó dẹ̀ ń dáwó fún so kí ló wá dé tèmi náà lè wá Nàìjíríà kí ló dé tí Ìgbòho lè wá Nàìjíríà so bí Ìgbòho ṣe wọ Nàìjíríà yẹn nísìnyí ó ti ń bí gbogbo yín nú ẹ ṣe sùúrù o wọ́n ní LAIPO is advanced wisdom okay
bí bàbá Ìgbòho ṣe wọ Nàìjíríà tó ti lè free yẹn ó ba ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ọ̀nù jẹ́ ìyẹn lásán but opportunity ẹ̀yẹ kí ni pé ó tilẹ̀ jẹ́ olóṣèlú yẹn ọ̀ fi yẹn kẹ́wọ́ ni bọ̀ ìbànújẹ́ ọkàn pé ó ṣe máa wọ Nàìjíríà ó ṣe máa free ẹ̀ nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ nìyẹn.
ẹ lọ bá bàbá Ládọjà ni o ẹ lọ bá bàbá Ládọjà ni o kò sí ní ta máa ṣe sí yẹn.
ẹ jẹ́ fún yín ní clue kan àwọn bàbá wa máa ń sọ pé oní portfolio oníkógun má jà lù
àwọn Yorùbá tẹ máa ń sọ yìí máa ń dùn
tó bá gbé portfolio ẹ̀ báyìí ó ń lọ nìyẹn so àwọn làwọn tó ń wó ègé sí bàbá Ìgbòho pé ó ṣe máa ṣe kíní kan.
ṣe mo dúpẹ́ àtújọ pàdé màá save nọ́mbà yín torí mo rò pa sọ̀rọ̀ rí ṣe gan ni potato yẹn màá kọ́ lọ tún wọ́n mi mo kí gbogbo èèyàn wa bàbá mi Waris Jinadu no indigenous people exit freely ìyẹn ò ní ká stop ṣẹ́rí ìyẹn ò ní ká stop Yorùbá nation wàláì Yorùbá nation sì máa lọ ó máa lọ ó ìyẹn kan ṣe ní lọ́sì ní Mr. Koiki àwọn fẹ́ flag ilé ṣọ́ àdírẹ́sì wọn ẹ̀rí flag Yorùbá nation ló wà náà mo lọ bá wọn poster flag Yorùbá nation ló sì wà ń bẹ̀ so ọgbọgbọ́n náà ni gbogbo nǹkan gbà Yorùbá yẹn ní agbára díẹ̀ o LAIPO LAIPO mo gbọ́ rí kò ń ṣe bí ṣe ń wo Yorùbá má sọ òyìnbó gan mo gbọ́ eléyìí rí LAIPO is advanced wisdom used by Ibadan citizens in a very complex situation kò ní bàjẹ́ fún gbogbo ẹ̀yin àgbàlagbà yín ìyá mi ẹ̀yin sisters mi èmi lọ́kọ́ àwọn ìyá Oòduà àní ṣìṣe àní ṣìṣọ mo ra sọ ní moderate torí tẹ́lẹ̀ àti sọ ní gbàgbós àwọn kan mi wà tẹ́kọ̀ lè gbọ́ pé Koiki ò bá dẹ̀ máa sọ̀rọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ ẹ bá mi oyè yín so ìyá mi gan kó tó kú. kò sáré pè kò wá sọ tẹnu ẹ so lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí mo kí gbogbo èèyàn wa Koiki I love this your black t-shirt èwo ń bẹ̀ ṣé lè tí mo kọ Koiki sí tẹ bá rí bọ́ ṣe wọ́n hún dáadáa ni o kò ń ṣe Omitaf Couture òun ló fi dá mi lára oyè nísìn eléyìí ọwọ́ ìyá mi ni mo ti nígbà tí mo ń lọ tó àwọn ẹrù mo kàn bá pàdé ni so ṣe láìkẹ ẹ̀rí pé ó fẹ́ tóbi díẹ̀ ti ìyá mi ni ó ní I stand with Igboho ó dẹ̀ stand pẹ̀lú ẹ̀ náà ni so ẹ jẹ́ kí n gbé brọ́dà mi Azeez kó bá wa pè wọlé but nọ́mbà tó lọ pè sí yẹn wrong number ni ẹ yẹ kó ti mọ̀ yẹn studio number ló yẹ kó pè sí so anyway yẹn wa ká tó máa tẹ̀síwájú ọba Elédùmarè wà pẹ̀lú gbogbo wa we are humans but má fabricate ìrọmọ Ìgbòho ẹ lè má like ẹ bó ṣe dé fìlà APC inú yóò sí bẹ́ẹ̀ má wàá sọ pé wọ́n sponsor wa ṣe ní gbogbo àwọn grandma gbogbo àwọn màmá wa everybody inú wọn ní dùn no they at your back òun náà sọ mo ti sọ mo ní Omitaf Couture ló bá mi ṣe wọ́n hún ni o wọ́n mú sí lára ni o kò ń ṣe pé wọ́n lẹ̀ o wọ́n mú sí lára ni o ó wà expensive you know ó wà expensive there wàá ṣàdúpẹ́ fọlọ́run ẹni dé fìlà Ìgbòho mọ́ fìlà Yorùbá yìí so ẹ rí i pé Yorùbá stroke kínní ni so anyway ká tó máa tẹ̀síwájú ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣe sùúrù ṣẹ̀rẹ́ ọ̀rọ̀ Sowore bí mo ṣe sọ ó Ìgbòho ní last week Ìgbòho ò gbé kọ́ọ̀lù yẹn so bí àtòrí Ìgbòho ò gbé kọ́ọ̀lù yẹn àdẹ̀mọ́ tó fẹ́ ṣe irú àwọn èèyàn bẹ́ẹ̀ tó bá pè ó máa fi ọ̀rọ̀ sí Ìgbòho lẹ́nu tó bá dẹ̀ fi ọ̀rọ̀ sí Ìgbòho lẹ́nu á rìkọ́dẹ̀ á wá gbé síta so a mọ̀ pé nǹkan tó fẹ́ ṣe nìyẹn bàbá mi dáàdì wa ó tójọ́ mẹ́ta sáré bá mi ṣe kíákíá mo ti sọ pé mo fẹ́ máa lọ ẹ ṣe ní kíákíá ẹ mute background yẹn ẹ ti wọlé ẹ mute background ẹ mute tẹ fi ń gbọ́ mi nu lẹ́sẹ̀ ẹ ti wọlé ó yẹ gbóhùn sókè mo ń gbọ́ yín nísìn mo ní kẹ́ mute phone mo ní kẹ́ mute TV lẹ́sọ ni mo sọ fún yín ẹ ti mute phone yín ọ̀rà easy wọ́ sọ̀rọ̀ Mr. Dada ò tí ready ó yá easy sóhùn sókè kíákíá easy sọ̀rọ̀ mo ń gbọ́ ẹ ẹ̀yin méjèèjì náà lẹ́ ń disturb ara yín ẹ gbóhùn sókè Mr. Dada káfí máa lọ fẹ́ lọ jẹun ebi ń pa mí. mo ń gbọ́ yín máa sọ̀rọ̀ lọ gbogbo àwọn bàbá tó dá sí gbogbo àwọn eré àwọn iléeṣẹ́ ọ̀dáwó nígbà tá à ń dáwó walkie talkie orúkọ wọn ni mo fi save mo ní London walkie talkie gbogbo wọn lọ́dáwó èèyàn kan wá ní Sowore wá ní wọ́n fún wa lówó àbórí ń ta ẹni ẹ gbóhùn sókè sà.
má dá Sowore lóhùn kó tẹ́ kí n jẹ mo kàn gbọ́ mo sáré tí mo gbọ́ ohun ẹ̀ ń sìn ni láìpò tí wọ́n sọ I will explain it to you wọ́n ní Ìbàdàn ló mọ̀ ò mọ̀ láìpò nǹkan tó mì ní pé èmi ló mọ̀ ò tí ì mọ̀ mí tó pé Ìbàdàn ló kàn ń gbọ́ bọ́tò ò tí mọ̀ láìpò ni àwọn Yorùbá ló máa ń lò pé ó dàbí wípé you just know me but you don't know me fully.
ọ̀dà ẹ ṣé gan ni ṣé àwọn Ìbàdàn nìkan ló máa wá ń lò ni àbí Ìjẹ̀bú náà máa ń lò torí Yorùbá yẹn ṣé every Yorùbá ló máa ń lò.
every Yorùbá ló ń lò wọ́n fi èdè ayé ó dàbí pé kò sọ pé màá bẹ́ẹ̀ ná tán bí owó. màá bẹ́ẹ̀ ná tán bí owó ó dàbí pé ọ̀sọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀. pé àwọn ò tí mọ̀ mí ó kọ́ Ìbàdàn ló mọ láìpò pé ò mọ̀ mí ó kàn mọ́ wọlé ni ò tí mọ̀ ẹni tí wọlé jẹ́.
Wow.
You understand?
Very interesting Yoruba. Very good. At least, we learn every day, ó wà very kódà èdè yẹn lásán kan yẹ ká máa tà káàkiri fáwọn èèyàn ni ká máa fi make owó gidi gbogbo ẹ̀ náà ló máa dé bẹ́ẹ̀ níjọ́ kan lágbára Ọlọ́run ẹ ṣé gan ni ẹ ti jẹ mí lówó torí ẹ pè mí láti jọ́ yìí but mo gbọ́n inú mi dùn ẹ ṣé gan ni one love ẹ ṣé gan ni all right thank you ẹ ṣé no problem ẹ ṣé gan ni thank you so much ẹ ṣé so mo kí gbogbo èèyàn wa ọba Elédùmarè wà pẹ̀lú wa àní ṣì jẹ àní ṣì mu àníjọ ẹni tó ń wá Fúlàní ò ní jí wa gbé àníjọ ń jẹ ọ̀tá wa gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí àti kò sí tá a máa ṣe sí ní tó bá wùn yín ni kẹ́ sọ but àwọn kan wà a máa dá yín lóhùn ṣe rí pé mi ò ń dá gbogbo yàn lóhùn lórí ọ̀rọ̀ olóyè because mo gbọ́dọ̀ dá àwọn kan lóhùn bí Sowore báyìí so bí mo ṣe sọ we will get there and we will not relent and on that note as Easy will be the last caller ó yá gbóhùn sókè Easy ní kíákíá ká tó máa lọ.
Good morning to you, brother. Good morning to you. Gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá ẹ káàárọ̀ ẹ káàsán ẹ káalẹ́ ẹ kúrò lẹ́nu gbogbo kíbi tẹ́ bá wà. $60 straight up of Miami. Ẹ wo ẹ fi Ìgbòho lẹ̀ lọ́rùn ẹ jọ́ tó lọ́rùn tẹ́ ẹ bá fẹ́ kúkú oró. Ẹ fi Ìgbòho lẹ̀ lọ́rùn please leave Ìgbòho alone. Ẹ lè ṣe now if you can't do it step aside ní now. Everybody there sọ̀rọ̀ Ìgbòho pé Ìgbòho cannot do this Ìgbòho cannot do that Ìgbòho this Ìgbòho that. Tani kọ́ lọ bá now ẹ̀yin people yìí now. Ẹ̀yin ọmọ Yorùbá. Tinubu is a Yoruba man now. Kalo fẹ́ dá lọ pẹ̀lú now. Làkàrẹ̀ yìí sí now. If you cannot do it, step aside.
Okay.
Ẹ gbà bẹ́ẹ̀. Ìgbòho bó ṣe wáyé, like I said, it's a man on his own. Every man here there. He can make a decision on his own.
Okay.
Ṣé ẹ lè bẹ́ẹ̀ sọ fún pé bó ṣe bá sọ lélẹ̀ ni? Jagunjagun ni Ìgbòho náà, abẹ́ fi yá wèrè ni.
Okay.
Now, ní kí Igboho ṣe bá sọ̀rọ̀. How should he talk? How?
Okay.
Ó ti sọ̀rọ̀ nìyẹn náà gbàgbé sáàdì yẹn. The man is asking for the security.
Okay.
Láàrin ti dọ̀dọ̀ ẹ nìyẹn.
Ó dà.
Ẹ jẹ́ kó ṣe nǹkan tó máa ṣe náà.
Ó dà.
Leave this man alone, hey people. If you cannot do it, step aside.
Okay.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you so much. 2018 ni mo fẹ́ kọ ní picture tí mo post yẹn, so mo ti rí pé 2028 I did it 2028. Mo ti lọ edit ẹ. Anyway, thank you so much everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day. Mo kí ẹ ọ̀gá mi pátápátá Presido kò ní bàjẹ́ fún wa àníṣe lásán ìyẹn yágbóyájú. Thank you so much and every single one of us. Gbogbo náà ni à ń ṣiṣẹ́ takuntakun from different angles, different areas, but like I said, as the spokesman for Igboho, it is my duty, and responsibility to address once and for all. Sowore tó bá tún wá jáde, á jáde padà fún again. Àwọn èèyàn kan ní a gbọ́dọ̀ jáde, especially Nigerians at home. In tó ń gbọ́, wọ́n confuse ara wọn after tí ìtò tó máa ń kọrin náà tó jáde tó ń sọ kábàkàbà olóyè ti gbowó, oníkan ti gbowó, so gbogbo nonsense yẹn ẹ má máa sọ ìtorí pé ni kò sí any credible evidence to back it. And on that note, lórí gbogbo platforms wa, enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you so much. Share the video, share the link, but do not copy the video itself. Ẹ wò ní bíbáyìí, kẹ́ bá wa pín link yẹn. I think that is the best you can do for us. Ẹ má gbàgbé iléeṣẹ́ wa ní bíbáyìí, àwa máa ń béèrè fún support torí pé wà ethical. Kò ń ṣe dandan, voluntary ni. Ẹni tó lọ́n bá bù fún, ẹni tó bá wá dẹ̀ ní àdúrà lòun lè ṣe fún wa. Mo kí triple DRS, mo rí yín lẹ́ẹ̀kan, mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin grandma pátá àti gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ ṣe ń fi àdúrà ran alájà, ìyẹn ìyá mi tó ṣaláìsí. Ọlọ́run bá ń fi ọ̀run kẹ́ gbogbo àwọn tó ti lọ. Àwa tó kù náà ni a máa ṣayé yìí lọ, àbí àṣàrè lọ. Àníkánjú lọ bá wọn, lágbára Ọlọ́run àníkánjú lọ bá wọn, kò sí tó jọ. So thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you everybody that have joined. Gbogbo yín kọ́ ni mo lè dárúkọ, tàbá ní ká máa dárúkọ, a máa pẹ́ sí bíbáyìí. Mo kí gbogbo alẹ́ nǹkan sí. And on that note, we will meet again and we will continue the persecution of the Christian. Ìyẹn mo fẹ́ parí, but eléyìí mo gbọ́dọ̀ jáde láti wá address ẹni. Thank you. God bless you. Bye for now.